gonna trap all the time. I just didn't. I don't know. Like he's a good player. Like I said, I just think they're the same player but just different modes.
I just thought the East being as weak as it was at that time, I thought they would at least be like a top four seed in my personal opinion. Because remember in
You got me wrong.
2022, too, there weren't that many teams that I thought that could hang in the East like that. I thought the if they just put some solid defenders and shooters around Dejounte and Trey, I thought it was gonna work out. Problem is, y'all never had no consistent shooting. And correct me if I'm wrong, do y'all still have Capella?
You talking about Trey? I mean the Atlanta
Yeah,
Hawks? Hell yeah.
yeah, the Hawks. Oh, okay. Well, shit. Well, shit. Well, yeah. And then yeah, y'all just never had consistent 3-point shooting outside of Bogdanovich. So I don't know. It just did not work out the way it was. Dejounte got hurt before the playoffs in 2023, and then yeah, Trey got hurt the season prior. So it just never worked out the way it should have. Unfortunately.
Mm. Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I like Atlanta from what I'm seeing so far this year. I like what
Yeah,
they're
I do
doing.
too.
I don't think that these niggas are gonna make the playoffs. I think they'll be a playing team. But Rissa Share, am I saying it right? I think Rissa Share. I like his upside. I like there's another player that's on this roster. I think it's Micic, something like that. He's
Mm-hmm.
pretty solid. Trey Young obviously is Trey Young. Um, I think Clint Capella is probably getting traded by the end of the year, which would be great because Onyeka Okongwu can finally get some like a consistent role. I think this roster it has potential in the long run. It's just ultimately what they decide to do. Now I and Sturdy know how I feel about it. How I feel about losers on when it comes to team structure. If you don't have a way, if you don't have an idea where you're going, if you don't have like a plan, find a plan. And that means exhausting all options so that you can figure out what to do. Bro, this don't make no
So
sense how Trey Young has got this far and his name hasn't been thrown in the bag for, some draft compensation. Because
I
Atlanta
mean
needs
this in
that.
the
Yeah,
most
he
respectful way.
yeah,
Like, what?
Trey's a weird dynamic. Like Trey is viewed by peers and coaches. Well, not viewed. He's been voted by peers and coaches, but by them surveys as like one of the most overrated players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you look at some of his recent things, like the fact that he wasn't selected by the coaches or players to make the All Star team. He only way he made the All Star team, I believe, last year because the commissioner picked him to do so. And the year prior, he missed it too with elite production. So now it's a weird polarization when it comes to Trey Young. On one hand, he's viewed as overrated. On the other hand, he's underrated at the same time.
Uh, it's a weird little joint. It's a weird little joint going on over there in Atlanta. Really, to tell you the truth, it's a weird little thing going on with Trey Young, like individually.
I mean, if
Because
this
on
nigga's
one hand, he's
averaging
not bad.
34 and 11, I ain't gonna cap, bro. I don't see how you don't have this
He
nigga.
can
Listen, he's not, but it's like, damn, like if
he
we
can't
kept
be the
that up,
best player on a championship team. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like Chris, like that
I
nigga
agree with
averaged
you.
35 and 12 for the entire season, and if that don't amount to winning anything, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like where at some point are you going to decide either we going? Because to be honest with you, bro, they could have got Paul George. I'm very confident they could have got Paul George. Now that I think about it, bro.
Trying to think, could they have gotten Paul
Dejounte,
George?
Dejounte, if getting Dejounte Murray off the books, you had a
I
top
agree.
lottery pick.
hmm
You have some young assets. Why couldn't you have gotten Paul George in via trade from Clippers?
Bro, that statue ugly as fuck.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead and get that out the way.
That is not
Let's get that
D
out the way.
Wade, bro.
Yeah,
Why
let's
they
leave it
keep
alone.
doing that to NBA players,
What
bro?
is
Whoever
all right?
making these
First off, first
statues,
off, first
dog.
off, first off, bro, Ajani, what does this do? What does this do? What why why are we doing this? What
What
for?
the fuck you doing? What?
Look at
What?
this.
What? What?
Look at this shit. Look at he done posted.
What? In the chat? Hold on. Let me see.
Yes. What is
Let me
this?
see. Let me see.
See, that's that 40-year-old shit right there, man. Ain't nobody come to look at you. Ain't nobody
That's
come to look at you.
cool. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. He said he was gonna go.
He said he was gonna go, but nigga, you could have just posted the picture with D Wade, and we would have been like, oh okay, he was there.
Or you could just posted it on your IG and then just do like a quick little thing on. You know what? You know what?
Angel about to post in the chat. Don't think I see you typing down that, Angel. Angel about to type in the chat, and Johnny, you ugly as hell.
No, no, I
I'm
wish.
coming off like I'm coming off like a hater, so I'm not gonna say all that. I'm coming off as
No, no, I put the 100 on there. You was actually there. That's more than I can say.
yo
Facts.
facts.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Facts. That's why I
Shout
just shut
out,
my
my
mouth
boy.
like a hater.
Bro, cause bro, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Who the fuck is this? Who is this? This ain't D Wade, man. This is
They did the same shit with Kobe's
who
statue,
is
bro. That shit just
this?
look weird.
Why he look bald?
He is bald, nigga. They
That
they
nigga
He ain't
look
gave
bald.
you
yo,
Michael.
nigga.
They gave you Michael Jordan, bro.
Is this D Wade or is this Jordan? Is this
This
D
is
Wade or
this,
Clyde
this is
Drexler?
neither.
These
This is neither, sir.
This
This is
is
disgusting.
crazy. This is crazy. This is nuts. I ain't gonna lie. Do you think so? Like, I think we all like agree. Like, D Wade deserved the statue, but like,
Agreed.
he got me
Now
thinking.
the better.
Is LeBron gonna
Now,
get one? Is LeBron getting one?
okay. So this might sound okay. I don't know. Listen, no, this shouldn't be crazy. I think Dwayne Wade is the greatest player to ever play to put on a Heat uniform.
Mm-hmm.
I think LeBron is the best. Is that crazy to say? I've been called crazy for saying that.
No, he literally peaked in Miami. So like, yeah,
Yes,
he deserves
yes,
it.
and I say he's the best player that's
Nah,
ever put
that's
on,
not crazy, Chris. That's not crazy.
Yeah, no, I
I
think he
don't think
deserves it.
so.
according to some, because I was on sports T show for like 5 minutes one time. I told her that freaking what's it called, that LeBron was the best player, and they're like, what the fuck? No, he
They said he
wasn't.
the
Like he
greatest
wasn't
Heat
even
too.
better than
I ain't
Dwayne
gonna lie to
Wade.
you. I ain't gonna lie to you. We're reacting to we're gonna be reacting to when
Johnny, I know you know that ain't D Wade, man.
that ain't D Wade,
They
bro.
ain't D Wade, dog.
That ain't D Wade. Johnny, bro, you came in at the perfect time, bro. Angel said you ugly as hell, bro. He said this picture is ugly as
Wow, you snitching on niggas
Angel,
now,
bro.
bro? You're not
Hey,
even
bro.
Debo no
Hey,
more,
bro.
bro. That's
Hey,
wild.
bro.
Hey,
That's
Damn,
wild.
Debo don't
it,
snitch.
it,
That's
it
wild,
don't
big
Debo
dog.
don't
matter
snitch,
He
dog.
that because
said
That's
I'm
wild.
he
I'm pretty
said
I'm pretty to those who got titties, so that's all that matters to me.
Oh
And,
man.
Hey,
and
Johnny, you need to
out,
go
check,
after Pat Riley, man. That's an
I just saw
ugly ass
the
statue of
NBA
D
statue
Wade.
go up.
It
I
That's
don't
saw the
even look like
man.
D Wade, man.
he said Biscayne in October because we ain't getting no
Jeremy
NBA
Wade.
pictures.
That's him right
Hey,
there.
hey,
Jeremy
hey,
Wade
y'all,
is insane.
y'all
It's,
need to
it's
cook.
Jeremy
Y'all need to
Wade.
cook
Jeremy
Pat
Wade is
Riley.
crazy. Y'all
Y'all need to
niggas
y'all,
is
cook Pat
nuts.
Riley, man.
Facts.
y'all ain't got no team. Y'all over here disrespecting the statue. Lead it goat alone. Let's go
You
Dwayne
fuck with
Wade,
that
baby.
statue?
Do D
Hey Johnny,
Wade, my go,
You fuck with
baby.
that statue for real?
Hey,
Be honest.
you was right there when they unrevealed it too, and I know you was thinking the same thing.
Come on, bro.
That's
No,
Deron Weed. They ain't
I
Dwayne
don't know
Weed. That's
why.
Deron.
No, I don't know why it looked like he got a
Wade.
beard. Like it looks like he has a beard. I don't know why it looked like he got a beard on. I don't know what they did with his face. Like they really did fuck up his face, but it's still a
Oh, this is
statue. It's I can't wait.
That
I'm gonna be out
man
there.
no. We
got the
can't settle.
Asian
No,
eye.
no, no.
You got the
Honestly, no,
Asian eye.
no. Hey Johnny, we can't settle for mediocrity. This is the come on,
Man,
bro. Like
this is
we
Wade
can't settle for
County,
this.
man. This is
Yeah,
Hey,
D
you know
facts. We
Wade,
can't do
man.
what they
that.
had the nerve to say? Hey, you know they had the nerve to say that they retooled it and retooled it. Like they kept showing it to Wade and them to make sure that they were happy with it, and they kept readjusting it, fixing it. I don't know
Why is
what
he
they did with.
bald headed? Yeah, facts. Like, bro, this nigga bald headed, and he got the chin
He got a lot of wrinkles
of the
in his
Crimson
face.
Chin.
His eyes small as hell, man. A lot of going on, man.
This is nuts.
Yeah,
Yo,
they did my boy
hey,
dirty,
y'all,
but we
This nigga
about
look
Angel.
hey,
high.
That AI statue was
This
definitely better
nigga
than
look
that.
high as no, bro. That was an
That,
MVP trophy. That was
That
not
nigga look
AI.
high as fuck. I'm being
hey,
real with
that
you,
was
dog.
hey, they did my boy AI
That
wrong, man.
AI statue was not a statue. That was a trophy, bro.
Hey,
That was a trophy.
That was
Hey, it's
fact.
better than that Dwyane Wade, whatever.
Yeah, at least the AI statue look like AI. This one don't look
They
like no
do
Dwayne.
look. It's just small. That's the difference.
But
hey, but to their credit,
all the
all of
Philadelphia
this is
statues
smaller.
are small.
Yeah, yeah.
All the
Fact.
Philadelphia statues are small.
How was the whatchamacallit, the actual speech? Like how was it?
Oh yeah, no, it was dope. Udonis spoke. They gave Udonis the mic. They gave Pat Riley the mic. They gave Spo didn't speak. They gave his son the microphone. Zaire was on the mic, and then Dwayne Wade spoke. Those are the only four people that spoke. Pat Riley gave a real good speech. Udonis gave a beautiful speech because he's from down here, so it was all love. But we were so happy to see Udonis. And then at the end, man, Dwayne Wade gave a beautiful speech, man. It was really beautiful, man. It was
I'm
really nice.
disappointed though, hey Johnny. I'm disappointed.
Rick Ross performed. They had Rick Ross perform. JT Money showed up. I don't know if y'all know about Miami, but JT Money was here.
He
You
was
feel me?
big in Miami, but
Yeah, JT
but,
Money.
Yeah. Poison
but the
Clan.
don't
Oh
look
man.
like D Wade, man. It don't look like D Wade.
Wade County, man. I'm so happy.
He said his son gave a speech.
The statue
Y'all
don't look like D Wade,
Y'all should
man.
boycott that trophy. I'll be real with you. I'm an Orlando fan, and I would boycott that trophy. I am
Yeah,
boycotting
Orlando ain't never
that
gonna have
statue.
no statues. Ain't gonna be no statues in Orlando. That's
What?
That's a lie.
What? That cap. All right.
there ain't gonna be none in Orlando.
Dwight Howard, if Dwight Howard
Pablo
get a
gonna
statue
bring
in
one.
Orlando,
Thank
Pablo
you.
ain't bring one.
Thank you. Thank you. Holy shit, bro. Yeah,
No,
fact.
y'all gonna retire Dwight Howard's jersey, but I don't know if he's gonna get a statue.
He's not
He
getting a
he
statue.
You
should
gotta
get a
win
statue.
in a statue, bro. If you
Yo,
win,
He went to the NBA Finals. What you talking about?
he
So
said
did
he went to
Shaq.
the,
So did Shaq. Should Shaq get a statue?
he
nah,
did beat LeBron.
they
I
retiring
think
his
Penny
jersey
deserves one.
before
Yeah,
Dwight, though. That's crazy.
I think Penny deserves one before
You
Shaq,
can't
but
get a
like,
statue if you play.
I mean, I'm biased.
Dwight only played on Orlando for like 6 years.
No,
That's
no,
more than
what? No,
them.
he didn't. No,
He came in.
he
He
was there for
came in
like
2000. He
seven,
came in
8,
2004.
right? Oh four, oh
And
five.
he left. Yeah, 0405 season.
He
And
left
he
in
left in
2012.
2012.
so that's
7
like 8
years.
years.
Okay, yeah, 8 years. There we
Yeah.
go.
Okay,
What's wrong with
That's like
that?
8
The
seven,
point,
eight
the point.
years. But that like nigga, that's not enough.
No
Nigga,
statue.
What you mean?
That's enough
What you
statue.
mean?
Bro, he
D
got
Wade was
3.
there
No,
for
he
15 years, bro. He was there for
So,
15 years.
what the? Oh no,
so
okay, no. But what's wrong with no? Listen,
Anthony
what's wrong with
Davis
8
It
years
produced
though? If he was a
multiple
3-time
championships.
next to who?
No, before in 2006.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we gonna say
He said
Shaq? Are we,
next
Next
to
to
the
Shaq. Listen,
GOAT.
all I'm
Hey,
no.
hold on,
Listen,
hold on,
no,
hold on.
Dwight,
In
casual.
you ain't say
No,
next to
2006.
the GOAT,
casual.
casual.
No, all I'm
Next to
saying
the
casual. No, casual. All I'm
In
no casual. All I'm
2006,
saying
he
is
was the GOAT. That's what that was. In 2006,
no,
he was the GOAT. That's what he
no,
was, because it wasn't Shaq.
no. All I'm saying is if he won 3 DPOYs, took us to an NBA Finals, he one of the best two-way players in the game, top 5 player in the game for multiple years while he was with us. Tell me how does he not deserve a statue? That's all I'm saying.
and he actually won a NBA Finals game, unlike Shaq. I'm just saying.
He
I
won a
mean,
what?
He
he
actually
won
won
one
an NBA
NBA.
Finals game, unlike Shaq. Shaq
We
ain't
would have
won.
won game 2. We should have won game 2 if Courtney Lee
Who are
didn't
we talking
freaking
about?
botch
Who we
that
talking
layup.
about?
Orlando. Orlando's
No,
great.
Orlando, my
which
team.
player? Which player?
Also, we had casual. We had the greatest accomplishment in NBA history. We beat
What is
LeBron
that?
James, bro. Fuck all that. We beat LeBron
Say,
James. A
say,
66-win
say,
Cavs
I ain't
team.
gonna lie to
I
you.
don't want to hear that shit.
I don't like
I don't want to
when
hear that
I ain't
shit.
gonna lie to you, Chris.
I don't like when LeBron fans be doing that. They got chill out.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you, Chris. The mental gymnastics you doing right now is astonishing.
Bro, this man
Yeah,
deserves a
crazy,
statue, dog. I don't give a
I
damn what
must
none
Because
of
he
give
y'all
you
beat
say. I
credit.
said
LeBron
what I
James.
said.
I must give you
That's
credit.
crazy.
I must give you
I
credit.
said what I said. I said what I said, man. I'm not apologizing.
This is amazing.
You might get a snap from me,
I'd
maybe.
rather get my ass kicked by Larry Bird than Dwight Howard.
Nah, I heard
You know,
you
the
gonna get
booty
your ass
gone.
kicked by me because I'm
You know
about
what
to
I'm
you about to get your ass kicked by
I'm
me.
fucking screaming.
We
That's
about to get your
disrespectful.
reaction to these videos, and one of these videos got your dumb ass in it. So Don't worry about it. You gonna get it. And then Johnny, don't worry about it. You gonna get some too, cause I gotta get the. I think we gotta talk about this mid range shit that you put
All
together.
right, all right. Hey, Debo got his ass. They call you Debo, but remember, Debo got his ass
You
whooped
had to
now.
use a brick. You had to
Oh, you
use a
talking about
brick,
the
nigga.
Rosen?
You had to use a brick,
Oh,
nigga. You had to use a
oh,
brick. You gotta use a brick.
Debo, aka Casual. You don't want to mess around and get A Johnny the Exposure on the same page with Hollywood Herm at the same time.
Man,
I
what is
don't
that
know you
gonna
want
do?
to do that, man.
What is that gonna do? Man, look, I ain't gonna lie to you, Herm. I am not you. I actually be prepared before I say shit.
Oh,
Damn, why
we
you gotta do a nigga like
no,
that,
honestly,
dog?
honestly, Herm, no, honestly, Herm was
Herm cooked
well,
on Herm was cooking.
no, hell, no, Herm was well prepared last night. I was
Yeah, he
impressed with
was
Herm.
prepared.
should we
Both
react
of
to
Herm,
y'all
the
was cooking.
should we react to
But
because
that debate? Y'all want to react to that debate?
oh yeah, for sure. Let's do
yeah,
that.
we can.
I like that. 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 That's
Yeah, we can.
content. W content. Get
Man,
everybody up in the chat.
more like Wayne County looking at statue, bro. Man, that
Nah,
shit,
but
that's
nah, but Herm,
disgraceful, bro.
It
no,
is
but Herm,
disgraceful though, bro.
Herm, Herm. I ain't gonna lie, big dog. Just I almost counted you out yesterday. I almost did, but
You
nah,
know
nah,
who
you came on
did though?
strong.
You know who did
Now
though?
you
You know who
who
counted you out? You know who counted him out?
My
who?
thing is,
I
Wade,
did.
Wade don't have a hard
I
space to
did,
like
nigga.
form.
I did.
Like I don't get it.
Yeah, we know you counted him out, nigga.
Yeah, because me and
What? I
Brandon
gave him
had
the
my
dub. What you mean?
me and
I gave him
Brandon
the
No,
dub.
not you,
Yeah.
Chris. I'm talking about Kevin before it even started,
Me and
man.
Brandon said that
True,
nigga
true,
was
true, true, true.
washed because he kept bullshitting. He didn't
Facts.
do
Y'all
nothing
niggas
creative.
compared him to Clay Thompson. That was nasty.
That is crazy.
That was
I ain't gonna lie
nasty
to you.
work.
Clay,
I didn't do that. That was Brandon. Brandon did that. Brandon did
Ah,
that.
okay, 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 okay. I'm
That
sorry.
wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Okay, 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 okay. My fault.
But
I
nah,
misspoke.
bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't. I said I thought he wasn't gonna win this one to Johnny because I thought he was just he had been bullshitting and just like getting in the car, thinking that was gonna be enough to get it into that debate, like get that debate out the way. And so the fact that I ain't gonna lie to you, last night it sounded like you was just a little bit more focused, Hearn. So I was like, shit. All right, man. I'll back up. I'll chill out. I'll chill out. You
Before
good?
we before we act to debate, I'm being honest with you, dog. After further review,
mm,
if they didn't have if they didn't put a
I
number
don't want
three
to
Heat
watch that.
jersey, if they
You
didn't
can
put
watch
another
me.
number three Heat jersey on that
What's
person,
wrong?
bro, you would not know who the fuck that is.
That's a fact.
That is a fact.
You,
That is a fact.
they slipped up,
yeah,
man.
but Sutter, that's why I said, man, I'm disappointed in Pat Riley and them. Man. You gotta make the statue look like Dwayne Wade, man. It gotta look like Wade. It doesn't look like Flash, man.
Y'all
That's
need
why
to
I'm
boycott that
disappointed.
trophy.
Like if
Y'all need
you
to
like
boycott
now,
that
granted,
trophy.
I get it. Like certain, like Wade, I'm not gonna lie. Wade has such a dynamic career. Like I'm like we even brainstorming. We was like, damn, what pose they gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Because he has so many. So even if you choose that pose, that's so simplistic. At least get the face right. Like his
Yeah.
face is not like it's not crazy. I don't get it.
All right,
It's not, I don't get that shit, bro.
I think I can show it on my.
I
Actually,
don't get it, bro.
It look like his dad and more than D Wade.
that is crazy, nigga. Shut
That's wild.
up. That is crazy. All right, Herm. You gonna watch this shit with us, Johnny? You gonna watch this shit with us? We just gonna be
Yeah,
reacting.
let's get it, man.
Get my
Go
thoughts
ahead.
on this debate. All right, bet.
Yeah, we get like pause after round and ask niggas questions like
Yeah,
a game.
after round, thinking, yeah, type shit. All right.
We can skip past the intro part. Let's just
Yeah,
get
we can
to
get
it.
past
Yeah.
formalities, but we are gonna be critiquing your ass, nigga, because I ain't gonna lie to you, Sturdy. Your ass fumbled the bag when it came to talking about the. Oh, let me get rid of this chat here. You
No, I
fumbled the
definitely
bag.
did. But
You was
Herm,
trying
next
to
time
make
we
it a
we
point.
doing we doing audio text. Like bro, that's two streams in a row where your shit we had audio problems in the beginning, bro.
In the beginning,
It's
yeah.
unacceptable, man.
All right, y'all ready?
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna tell you, even though I was more prepared, but I'm gonna be honest though. I was out, my old college homecoming and shit, so I was in the car again. When I'm at the house, I'm good, but I was out and about last night too.
See,
So
I
I feel
called
you.
it out in the
that's what it
Discord. This
was.
nigga
All
in
right,
the car
Yeah,
so I
again.
gotta ask. So Herm, I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Did Did you change up or adjust your round the second time, or did you say the
Nigga,
same
why you
exact
gonna
shit
ask him?
when you
Why
was
you
on
gonna
mute?
ask him now? Why you
I
gonna ask
said
him
I
now
said the
though?
same exact shit though.
Why you
I
gonna
said the
ask him
same
now,
exact.
nigga?
Okay.
L
No,
content,
he
bro.
I
no no
respect
L
that.
content.
he made it seem like in the beginning he was like, damn, yeah, I ain't hear nothing I said. All right, because it makes it like I assume like, damn, you must been cooking then. But let's
This
go
nigga,
ahead. We'll
man.
do.
All right. Chat. We about to run through this shit real quick. Here, let me get my. All right, bet. All right, cool. Y'all ready?
Hundreds is over. We don't want to talk about Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Bird. We want to talk about the 2000s. We want to talk about what's going on recently. That's what we want to do. I want to talk about post 9/11 life.
That's disgusting.
Man,
We
yeah,
just
we
letting
gonna
him get
bring
that
we
shit
go
off.
we gonna bring some light to a lot of stuff, man. You know, a lot of people got their different opinions. Like we said, we got a lot of old heads that don't support the 2010s and even this era now. And you got a lot of younger people that probably don't understand how great the 2000s was. So we gonna bring a light to a lot of things that hopefully me and A. Johnny can provide those things. We don't know who's gonna win the debate, but hopefully that we can bring light to those eras and make y'all look at those eras in a different light that y'all probably never looked at before. But at the end of the day, man, let's get to it, man. I expect to cook A. Johnny, but you know, end of the day, he feel the same way. You expect to cook my ass. So, man, let's get to it. We go get to it. We go start
Friendly ass nigga.
H30. What's happening, man? Explain how everything go to the people.
All right, before we get into the rules, real quick, I don't know who's available right now. Can somebody pay attention to my chat on YouTube and let me know if they need me to put the link in the chat?
And started, I mean, and casual. By the way, aka Debo. I don't think y'all still kind of listen to him in the first round, but I
We
guess we
finna no
fit
look.
over
We about
there.
to we about to go through it right now, nigga. You ain't gotta
Yeah,
worry about it.
facts.
We about to go through it right now. Chris, can you make sure that my that
Yeah, I
that
got
link?
you.
Okay, I appreciate it, brother. All right, I'm gonna play.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know why we here. We are here for a Johnny versus Herm 4. For those of the people that do not know and are new to the program, we are having a debate on this specific topic, which era is greater, the 2000s or the 2010s. Now, each gentleman will have we have a 3-round format. Each gentleman will have one each of them will have 3 rounds to debate their topics. The first 2 rounds.
Sturdy. What the fuck happened here? What happened?
Yeah, I'm not gonna cap. I was juggling like in the background. I'm like, fuck, all right, I gotta get the banner up, get the shit up. I'm like, damn, slipping. But and also I forgot I didn't have the timer ready, so I was trying to get the timer ready. As I was talking, so that's why I was fumbling up.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I heard that. I said, "Oh no, they didn't got my nigga stuck
Nah,
in
real talk. I just got to
there."
download a timer. Nah, I just got to download a timer on StreamYard so that way when niggas debate, just have the timer up there and call it a day.
You know, I could have set that shit up too, bro. I don't know why y'all niggas don't be asking me to help with shit anymore, bro. This is crazy.
All right, nigga, it ain't about me. Let's go. Are 3 minutes each. And those 2 rounds, the gentlemen will display the arguments on why each era are the best slash greatest. Then the third round, instead of 5 minutes, it's gonna be 3 minutes each, where they have a rebuttal. In addition to that, at the opponent's discretion and the host discretion, they can provide an extra 2 minutes upon their request. And who will determine the winner of this battle? That'll be me and 2 other judges that will be listening to this debate as well. That's in the backstage. In addition to that, it'll be you guys. You guys in the chat will also decide the winner. That'll be not only during this live chat, but most importantly after this video. After this video, obviously, after you like, comment, subscribe, in the comment section, it's up to y'all to tell us who do y'all think won the debate and why between A. Johnny and Herm on who's the greatest, what's the greatest era, the 2000s or the 2010s. Now, gentlemen, now, because last time I believe, let me get Herman up here. Last time I believe, who went first last time? Was it Herm or A Johnny?
It was A. Johnny, so I gotta go first, man. I gotta
Okay.
go first. I'm a good sport about it. I gotta go first.
I mean,
All right.
we all on your home turf. You know what I'm saying? You could, it's on you, Herm. But if you want first place, then you go ahead and take it,
Hey,
man.
I got to though. It's on the right though. I gotta be a real one. You know what I'm saying? So it's on the right though. So man, let's get to it, man. I guess I go
All right.
first.
All right. So here's how this gonna work. Um, when I put you on the solar screen, that's when your time gonna start. So just give me 1 minute, so I make sure I got this timer ready. And like I said earlier in the back, you will hear a horn sound when your time is up. All right. So just give me 1 moment. All right. You ready?
Man, let's get it.
All right. So, like I said, when I put you on the full screen, that's when your time will start. All right.
All right.
Here we go. Give me 1 second. Put these. All right. Your time starts now.
Well, I'm gonna give a good reason. Well, I'm gonna start off with this: why the 2000s are better than the 2010s, due to the fact that the defense alone, defense of the 2010s
Damn, damn, damn.
Uh,
Got my boy
you
Herm
have to
here.
skip ahead a few more minutes.
Yeah, yeah. I got you. I got you. They try to get my boy Herm.
I'm not gonna cap her. Next
Ladies and
time I'm
gentlemen,
gonna
Herm
dock
is
you, bro.
having some technical difficulties. I don't know if he can hear us, but like, nigga, skip ahead. He's gonna fix his
I
mic,
won't be in the
but
car no
we
more.
gonna get right.
Top, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the
Y'all about to
technical
start
difficulty.
streaming?
Bro,
Don't be
you
afraid
can
to donate
like
to the Cash
use your
App for
mouse, go across
FYF,
the
and we
timeline,
gonna go
and then
ahead.
when
Sorry for the
Herm's on the full
technical
screen, that's
difficulty.
when the round starts. Brand new PS5, where is
Say that shit again.
you can scroll your mouse on the timeline at the bottom, right,
No, I'm
and it'll
not.
give you like a mini picture.
Where?
Whenever you see Herm on the solo screen, that's when he starts.
Is this
Yeah,
it?
right about there.
Nigga lost his avatar. Internet chalk. God damn. Okay. All right.
It went out.
And
Yeah,
y'all
nothing.
and
Five
y'all
seconds.
didn't
So
hear me.
yeah, we didn't hit nothing. So you can start straight
Nothing.
off from the top. We didn't hit nothing. You can start fresh.
All right, let's get it then.
All right, so
I
give
All
can
me
do
right,
1 second.
it then.
Give me
all
one
right.
second. So
I'm
I'm
gonna
as
That's
mute
soon as
myself.
I
crazy. I thought my
so
shit was working.
Nah, don't worry. We go.
so
Hey, Herm, we gonna get you a laptop, Herm. We finna get you a laptop, Herm. We finna get you straight, Herm. We gonna get you straight up. We gonna get you straightened, cuz. We gonna take care of you, brother. We gonna take
I
care of you.
heard
Wow, yo.
this is the last chance, sir. Can't be giving no more second chances. All right.
That's
So
wow.
when you're when you're on the solar screen, that's when your time starts. All right.
Man, let's get it, man. Cause I know I said a lot. But let's get it. I'm gonna start off giving you guys the reason why the 2000s are better than the 2010s, which is on the defensive side of the ball. The 2000s produced some of the top defenses of all time, statistically and analytically. You got three defenses in that era that's considered in the top 10 defenses of all time, which was the 2007 2008 Boston Celtics, which was considered the 2004 Spurs, and also the 2004 Pistons. I'm gonna give you guys an aspect of this. The 2004 Pistons averaged 84.3 points per game. That's what they allowed per game defensively. And also the Spurs in the same year, 2004, gave you the defensive rating of 94.1 per year. And I'm gonna give you guys an example of how different the defenses were in the 2010s to the 2017 finals. The teams allowed a game 230 point plus points per game defensively combined for the teams. And when you look at the 2005 finals, which had some of the two best defenses damn near arguably of all time, you had the Pistons and the Spurs in that finals. They only allowed combined 171 points per game. When you look at that aspect, the 2000s era had more versatile defenders. They had more physicality. They had more guys that was better defensively. Look at a guy like a Bruce Bowen, a Tony Allen, a Tayshaun Prince. Then you look at the interior, you had the Ben Wallace, the Kevin Garnett's, and Tim Duncan's. Guys of that ilk really wasn't prevalent in the 2010s era. Yeah, some guys that was decent, but those guys were exceptional. It was unbelievable. Hell, Ben Wallace made it to the Hall of Fame strictly just off his defensive presence alone. Then you had Tim Duncan. The reason why he get the edge for is the best power forward all time, not because of just winning, because of how dominant he was defensively and the aspect that he brought to that Spurs team to the point where that they was able to play aggressive. They was able to be more aggressive than usual because they had a guy like Tim Duncan that could defend, that could move well, that always could test shots, always was good in drop coverage as well. Then you had a guy, Kevin Garnett. You know how great he was defensively. That's why you seen the 2007, 2008 Celtics be dominant on the defensive end. So when you look at that defensively alone, the 2000s era are better than the 2010s. So that's why I gave you guys those little examples. And when you look at the perimeter defenders and the interior defenders, they're just better. They got more parity for its competition. They're more deep because they have great ISO play. They was also had a lot of different offensive aspects that they use as well. They basically just a better overall era, which I will explain later in the round. But I just want to start off with the defensive aspect because that was basically the era. They was physical. They was great at drop coverage. They was great at test shots.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so earlier, last night, when all of us gave our votes and stuff, I do agree with Herm. Everybody was on his ass about the about harping too much on the defensive end. Going back on it, I ain't gonna lie to you. I might give him some leeway. I see what he was doing. Because I mean, like objectively, like the 2000s defensively is like the claim of fame for them because they were so excellent defensively. And shit, I think even I said at the end of this stream that how good the defense was, and that would be why you would put it over the 2010s, and even now. So yeah, I
I
ain't
get
gonna
it
lie to you.
too.
He might be right.
Yeah, no, I give him a little slack. The only thing I just kind of, and the thing is, he could have said it in like a quick one or two sentences, just going over the like just the overall things you would have talked about, and then just strictly get into the defense. You could have mentioned that for like a good five or 10 seconds, and then boom, would have been good. But I'm not mad at him going over the defense. But I might give him a little, I might give him a little leeway too.
Yeah,
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 that's pretty much it. And I thought in comparison, it like the round wasn't bad at all. It's just in comparison to Johnny here, I just thought you got a little bit more from Johnny. It was better structure. And then like yeah, like especially what Chris just said, like typically even when you go in a specific like thing like that for an era, you
mm-hmm.
you typically first set the stage better. I think Herm just went straight into defense. He didn't say I thought he could have like, from a structure standpoint, explained to the audience that like to remind us like okay they're better in 2000s because one of the most aspects that tracks the game or most important aspects of the game is defense and then boom from there like that's just a structure thing but like and I seen her personally done this in other debates as well so it's just a when you have two good rounds like that then you're going to go to like delivery format and structure at least for me.
Okay. So you're talking about
Shout
you're
out.
not talking about ball. Cool.
Well, okay. Well, we actually were talking ball. They literally debating talking
Nah,
ball.
but Herm, like
Okay.
you got any comments on this though?
Oh yeah, Justin. By the way, oh, are you guys on what's called live
Yeah,
or?
we're live right now.
Yeah, casuals live right
Yeah.
We're
now.
live right now,
I'll
and they are
get,
talking
I'll
ball. They're
get
debating.
visual. I'll
I
get.
mean, I thought I didn't want to show my too much, but I basically, kind of gave the overview what I was gonna do throughout the rounds, and I did explain that I was gonna explain those different aspects for us off and things like that in the later rounds. But I did want to highlight the defense because straight up, I feel like nobody can argue the defensive aspect of the 2000s compared to the 2010s. So I touched on it first round just to really get it out the way, and then I could bring light to other aspects of the 2000s later on in the debate. So that's why I did it the way I did.
I ain't mad at that. Anybody else?
Oh, fine. I'm back. I'm back. Does anybody else want to say anything?
Hey Johnny, you want to give you a comment?
Yeah, Johnny, before we get to your part of the round, do you want to say anything? If you trying to say something, we can't hear you, brother. All right. All right, we're gonna get back to it. Did I press it?
Is it mute?
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Oh, here we go.
Peace and blessings, y'all. So Herm made some great points about the 2000s. As we all know, the 2000s did hold a lot of great aspects of the game of basketball, but the 2010s are just a better era of basketball. Beyond the idea of what we're talking about in today's debate, we're going to bring up aspects of the 2010s when we're talking about the actual teams that existed in the 2010s, to the champions that happened in the 2010s, to the league MVPs, the finals, the classic finals that were available in the 2010s, not to mention all the great players that came along in the 2010s, and also the players that were drafted within the 2010s, which makes today's NBA what it is today and how great it is. We're going to discuss that as well, plus the moments. So there's a bunch of things about the 2010s that we've all witnessed here because we were able to watch the 2010s more than any other era. So everything that I'm going to be speaking here is going to be factual about the 2010s. If we start off with the idea of the idea of the champions that happened in the 2010s, we're talking about the Dallas Mavericks. We still talk about the Dallas Mavericks championships and how people say it's the toughest road to a championship. Then we already know why they say that, because obviously LeBron James and the Miami Heat, that's another great championship team during that era, the classic team, a historic team. Then we know the Warriors, a dynasty within this era. So we're talking about two dynasties, two teams that won back-to-back champions within the 2010s. And let's not forget, we ended off this decade with the Toronto Raptors and that miraculous championship that Kawhi Leonard was able to win. So when we're talking about the actual 2010s, we have not only just aspects of the championships, which is what we all here to watch when we talk about basketball, but then when we talk about the players that existed, we're talking about Bron's era, LeBron's main era. We're talking about Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant. We're talking about great players like CP3, Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook, Harden, AD. There are so many great players that came out of the 2010s that made a mark in this NBA that we're never going to forget. These are legacies that's going to last forever in our lifetime. And when we're talking about these players, let's not mention the MVPs that we had. We had Derrick Rose in 2011. That is a classic and a historic MVP. We had Bron in 2013. We had Stephen Curry in 2016. We had Russell Westbrook do something that nobody thought could ever happen. He averaged a triple-double, won an MVP. We had Harden himself, who had a phenomenal season, averaging over 35 points per game to be the league MVP, which was another historic season in 2018. So when we're talking about all of these great aspects of the 2000s and 10s, this is what we're talking about. And when we're discussing this right here, we have so much great moments that we could just discuss. We already know about the 73-9 Warriors. We already know about Kobe Bryant's retirement, him putting up 60 in his last game. We know that we...
Yes, sir.
All right. What we thinking? What we thinking about that one right now?
You see the difference between, like, they both was good, but Johnny had better structure. You know what I'm saying? He set the table what he's going to talk about, and then he started supplementing what he was talking about. And the examples he used, he kept it simplistic, and the example he used is perfect, from describing the teams and how great they were to the example of talent that he didn't display. Like, why is that important? So that's why, for me personally, that's why I gave the edge to Johnny.
What about you,
Same
Chris?
as well. Like I said, honestly, I probably would have given it to Herm again if we just spent like at least 10 seconds going over just a general synopsis of what he was trying to do. Like, he didn't have to show his full cards off of it, but just something quick, like some breadcrumbs for how we're gonna be taking in all of the information.
Mm. Crazy. Okay. Ready?
Nobody else has any, nobody else.
Herm, you got anything?
Hey, Johnny, fix your audio.
I think I see what y'all talking about.
Hey, Johnny,
But
come in, then come back out. Like, because we can't hear you.
I kind of differ, but I understand where y'all coming from. Though.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at analyzing the debate, you kind of want to know how a person's gonna lead you within the conversation. Understand that aspect. You know, I kind of differ a little bit, but yeah, I understand.
My bad, y'all. I'm trying to get her ready for bed real
Oh no,
quick.
you good,
Because
King.
beyond her, like in terms of information, like is about the same level of information that both of you guys provide us. In my opinion, like you probably provide a little more diversity of information, but it just the structure of the argument. Hey, John did it better. So
I'm not gonna lie to you
that's
though.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, sturdy though. Hindsight, I would have given it to her. Just cause, like, I didn't realize this nigga was actually pointing out like defensive numbers, like defensive
Yeah.
statistics, and it
Yeah,
was
he was.
actually like valuable statistics to point out how elite that defensive error was. Hindsight, I would have gave it to her, but I do see what you're saying as far as showmanship, and that's typically how Johnny wins them first rounds against you. He's just far better
Hmm.
at showing, like his entertainment factor of how he introduces the information. It gives him the one up on you. But this next round, oh no, I
Oh
think it's
no,
Herm.
yeah.
I think
Oh
it's
yeah.
Herm.
Oh yeah.
Herm
That's
took it
And
first.
it's
percent.
not showmanship. It's what I'm talking about is substance and like it's not just information that you provide, it's how you put that information out there too. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, it's
But
sturdy.
go
It's
ahead.
showmanship. Nigga, it's showmanship. The way the nigga
No,
sprung it, the way he
Is
introduced, the way he
my mic good
introduces
now?
it, it's
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
perfect now. Yeah, it's perfect now. It's
Yeah.
perfect now. The way he
Now, what you thought?
introduced,
What you thought of Herm's round and your round?
Well, like I
uh,
said, I kind of got what y'all was saying about with Herm. You know what I'm saying? That Herm was kind of like, from what Herm was introducing, he was going to predicate his whole argument on the defense being why the 2000s was um a better era. So he harping on a few stats like y'all mentioned, a few things which I could have easily debunked if I wanted to do that. But obviously, I was waiting for the rebuttal round to get to that point. But when we got to the rebuttal round, there was some other things that he helped me out with. So, but again, like you guys said, it's a debate, so you have to be able to provide a structure, especially in the intro. The first round is basically letting people know what you're gonna say, what your stance is, and what you're gonna use to back up that stance. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I usually do. And obviously, man, we people with rhythm, man. So not only am I gonna be educating, I'm gonna be entertaining. That's what I do best, man. That's what we ain't here to be listening to dudes just talk the talk. You gotta be at least entertaining and informative in some kind of way. Come on now. And Herm does his thing too, man. Don't sleep on Herm. Herm got his little entertainment way of doing things. I should have called him Pee Wee Herman. Maybe he would have been more excited.
no.
Uh,
I think the way I think he was just more locked in on being more informative. But this next round, oh no, that nigga, that nigga turned it up a little bit. I ain't gonna care.
so
Yeah,
Cash,
I
do
can't
you want me to?
hear it. I can't wait to hear this second round that y'all claim was so epic. But I'm listening. I can't wait. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear
Casual, do you
Herm.
want to hear some of the comments from your
Yeah,
stream so
yeah. Go
far?
ahead, go ahead, go
Seems
ahead,
seems
go
you
ahead.
got a couple. All right, so someone in the chat actually said that Herm watched that, basically saying that he stole round one. And he
Okay.
said the other thing, the host already said the comparisons of the 2000s. I don't know why that's being harped on. I'm assuming he means like why we're picking on Herm so much because he didn't give us the intro of what like his general structure was. I'm assuming he means that.
Zito, no. So, I don't know. Herm watched that. That's what he said.
Yeah, he said Herm watched that. I think he means he took round one.
I want to say
I'm
he. I
assuming.
want to say he want. I want to say he meant to say Herm watched that nigga.
I think so
And
too. Yeah,
in that sense,
like you.
no. Either way, I don't think the first
Oh,
round. I
and
don't think neither one of them
another
niggas
thing though,
watched that.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
didn't
you
know my
watched it.
audio messed up at the end. I didn't know my audio messed up at the end right before I was talking about Kobe and the thing because I think my ending was really good too, but it kind of messed up at the end.
Because he
It's
started
kind of
off with
sad
Mm.
that it.
By the way, whoever
No,
gave this
Sturdy
nigga
just cut you
Sturdy,
off at the end.
yeah,
That's
whoever
all.
gave Sturdy a fucking horn, that's crazy.
I like it. Honestly, it's a good touch. It gives a little dramatic effect. Like honestly,
I
you gonna hear it in Herm's third round because there'll be a moment I put like 30 seconds or something, and then Herm or like so Herm will kind of count it down. He'll stop like, oh shit, I still got more time. Then he'll get talking again. It's good shit to me in
He
my
can't
opinion.
wait to hit that button on niggas.
No,
oh, he
no,
couldn't
for
wait to
Go
use
ahead,
real
that.
though. No,
Couldn't
for
wait to
real
hit
though.
that
go
horn.
ahead, man. Ain't about me, nigga. Continue on.
Well, I'm listening because this is my first time hearing the debate. I wasn't able to catch it the other
Oh,
day.
good. What did you think? What did you think of Herm's? so far? Like, what did you think of Herm's first round setup
And they Johnny
against
first
the
round.
Johnnies?
I mean, it was these guys were good, but I want to listen to the whole thing first before I
Okay,
even,
that's fine.
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay,
Ajani,
okay.
Ajani,
True. I respect
not
that.
Ajani. Chat. I want y'all to keep on giving feedback on what y'all think, cause I might do a poll too, just to see how much action we got. Um, but come on, let's start it up.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Is that basketball dripping on the ground?
Let's get it, y'all. Well, great points, but let's start off with this. In the day, it was great parody in the 2000s era. You had a mixture of everything. It wasn't any super teams in there. Yes, you had the duos, but for the most part, other than Shaq and Kobe, it was parody in the league. You had 7 different champions won in the 2000s. The 2004 Pistons gave you an aspect that we did not see in the 2010s of a guy that don't even a team that doesn't even have a superstar win the NBA title, and that's what the 2004 Pistons provided. Um, and end of the day, when you look at the aspect, it was player rivalries and also team rivalries. You had player rivalries like T Max versus Kobe's. You had the Dunkins and Shaq. You had the KG and Tim Dunkins. You had the post play. You had the interior and the exterior as well. You had guys that could provide you different things. You had the aspect of different offenses that we saw in the 2000s era, which was the Dallas Mavericks with Steve Nash and Dirk Nowitzki when Don Nelson was the coach. Then you had the Mike D'Antoni with the Phoenix Suns that posted some of the best offenses of all time as well, which introduced the 7-second offense, and which to this day, which a lot of guys in these offenses that we see now implement from what Don Nelson and Mike D'Antoni brought it to the NBA. That's what they use now, and that's what we had in the early 2000s. We had those type of offensive minds in that era within the tough defense. You had the offensive rating. You had the offensive ratings. Them guys were still able to get the 110 offensive rating within a very physical and very tough defensive area, which the 2000s produced. So you still was able to see how great and how skilled guys were. So you had a mixture of everything. Which the difference was in the 2010s, you had more super teams than you had actual teams. In the 2000s, you really didn't have the super teams other than the 2007, 2008 Celtics, but in which they wasn't in their prime like you saw like the Golden State Warriors had Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Draymond, and Clay, or you look at the Miami Heat with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. So it was more parity, it was more competition, it was more competitive. It took you 50 wins just to even make the playoffs in the rest of the conference. In the 2010s, you didn't have that aspect in the 2010s like that often, that consistent. And then you had the top MVPs. You had Allen Iverson, gave you great playoff runs as a small guard, led the 76ers to the NBA Finals with the great defense and with the great ability of Allen Iverson being able to carry the load because his great ISO play. So you was able to see a lot of different aspects and a lot of different offensive strategies that you saw in the 2000s that you really don't see in the 2010s. Because really the 2010s produced some of those same offensive strategies that we saw in the 2000s, which we see to this day. So when you look at that aspect of it,
I see what you're
we
saying.
see
I see
the
what you're saying.
implementation of the Don Nelsons and Mike D'Antonis within all these offenses today's NBA, but they did not have the defenses to support like we saw in the 2000s. So we didn't get to see those great defenses like we saw back then.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Chris.
Hmm.
That nigga
What's up?
cooked. That nigga
Yeah.
cooked.
No. Herm is going. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
nigga
No.
cooked.
Herm had that one.
Yeah, Herm had that.
Um.
Herm, what was you?
Going.
What was the mission that you were trying to achieve with that second round?
No, I mean, to me, just the 2000s era period gave you everything you want. I think it's the most complete era of all time, in my opinion. You had the great defensive physicality along with the skill and talented players. I probably, if I could think back on it now, we probably could have went to 5 minute rounds because I think that would have gave a Johnny opportunity to produce more evidence for the 2010s, which I could have produced more evidence in the 2000s to the point where that we don't have to worry about scrambling and fitting so much in a short amount of time. So we probably should have done the 5 minutes when I think about it now. But I just wanted to prove how diverse that era was, because that era was very diverse for us in every aspect of the game of basketball within that era. So um, that's all I wanted to point out the differences. Yes, 2010s implement you the faster pace offense, but at the same time you had those fast pace offense in the 2000s, but you also had the all time greatest defense in the era as well. You got three defenses within the 2000s that's in the top 10 all time and the best defenses ever in the NBA for its team defenses. So they had everything that you needed: the player rivalries, the team rivalry, had everything you ever wanted in the era. They had it. That's why I say they a mixture. They a mixture of the '90s, the '80s, mixtures of the 2010s. All of it is really in that era.
Okay. Okay. Johnny, do you after rehearing it, do you see what we or do you see what we see or do you think we overrating it?
I kind of see what y'all saying. I mean, but I don't see how that was such a like how y'all said like it was just like automatic, like you know what I'm saying? Because I know I rebutted a lot of the stuff that he stated in general, because he brought up a lot of stuff about the different teams and how they played and how the offenses was, and I rebutted that with teams of the 2010s and the talent within those teams and why those teams were just better, because at the end of the day they were just better teams in the 2010s than in the 2000s. So
So
he still harkened on the defensive part because he was saying it was the physicality and the greatest defensive team. Like I guess that would be the Detroit Pistons of 2004.
so so go James. So we're actually gonna listen to your second round, and I agree with you. You went on the aspect of super teams, but there was a portion in there where you mentioned the competition and how you mentioned some of the greatest NBA final games. That's where I started taking away from you just a little bit because
Yeah.
but
Nah,
we'll
but
hear
say
more
that,
second round.
But see,
say
that's
that.
the thing
Well,
about
Save
the
it.
debate that I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you
He
guys
was
don't
saving it.
understand. Hold on.
Mhm.
I think there's something that you guys have to understand. When you're talking, when you're listening to a debate, your job isn't to say, well, I agree with this or I don't agree with this. Your job is to say, okay, what is the individual trying to state and how are they trying to construct their argument
Right.
to have that as a statement? Whether you agree
mm,
with this or not should not be a factor in it.
I
So
No,
agree.
it's
not
it's
yeah,
so
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
And
So
So
I,
I'll say this
n-
and then sturdy. I'll say this and then sturdy.
mm,
You
yeah.
you you free to feel free to go true. Well, shout out to True to King TV. Make sure to go check out his YouTube channel. We definitely gonna shout out everybody that has a YouTube channel here as soon as we finish this. But I'll just say this: as a judge, I don't give a shit about my opinion on what Ajani or Herm said because there was plethora of stuff that Ajani and Herm said that I do not agree with. However, as a judge, I was looking purely at not necessarily. I know the shit isn't factual. Some of the shit that Herm said, I know some of the shit that Johnny said isn't factual. I'm not looking
mhm,
at it from a standpoint of me addressing it. I'm looking to see if their opponent is going to address it. So
right.
Mm.
If Herm doesn't
Mm,
address Ajani when he says what you said, which we're finna get into your round, Ajani. So we'll the chat y'all will be able to see, and you feel free to point out in the chat if you hear it. I'm not looking for me to say, Johnny, that's wrong. That's not that many. That's not that much competition because of super team. No, I'm looking for Herm to point that out. And if Herm doesn't point that out, shit, free reign. It's almost like if a
oh,
nigga hits you, if a nigga hits you in the sternum before coming off of a screen, it's like yeah, that's a foul. But shit, if the referee don't call it, shit, it's fair play. Fuck it, like it is what it is.
right.
So
No, so
yeah,
I agree. So I agree with all that. Only thing I'm saying in that aspect of if I'm comparing the different parody, like 'cause the whole thing he marked on in that particular round was the parody and how there were more championship teams in that aspect, more
mm-hmm.
exciting NBA finals. I just from that
Yeah,
aspect
yeah.
that
I'm
is
gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna. There was no parody, and that's what Casual is saying. I rebutted the fact that it was on me to show how what Herm was saying about the parody of the 2000s was false because there wasn't that many champions. There weren't too many teams making the finals in the 2000s as well. On top of that, so there really was no parody. There was only really one or two teams dominating the whole time, and I brought that up.
That so like
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
we
we're finna
gonna
get
get
it.
to that.
Yeah,
We gonna
yeah,
get
we're
to
gonna
that.
get into it.
Hold tight on
But
that, Johnny,
hold
because
on, hold on to that.
I'm finna play your stuff. Sturdy, do you got something to say before I press play?
Yeah,
Yeah, so for Hearns round, like I said, same thing with casual. Like I take my opinion out of it. I go by how you convey your structure, your argument, what you trying to say, and how you trying to convey it. And it depends on, and honestly, it depends on like the structure of your argument when like you emphasize on a certain fact. If you emphasize on a fact that's completely false, and that's the basis of your argument, then yeah, that's gonna hurt you. But if you just like, like I miss said something here,
Javar,
or like
you
this was
missed
just
the
not as accurate here, then it's like unless your opponent addresses it, it's like it is what it is, right? But in general, for this instance, Herms said it, and he delivered upon the diversity not only in talent, but
I'll just say real quick to Vol, and then we'll get back to Sturdy's point that he's making, which is pretty much just the same thing that I said. Shout out to Sturdy, by the way. Yeah, they mocking the fuck out of y'all right now. This is crazy. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie to you. Heat Nation, man, Pat Riley need to redo that statue, or he need to get his money back from whoever made that statue, because that's some bullshit. But go ahead. Okay, True, you got anything to say before I press the... Oh, I'm sorry. True, do you got anything to say before I press the play button?
nah.
Shut up. All right. It wouldn't be Andrew if Andrew didn't find out.
I'm glad you brought up the whole aspect of super teams and the aspects of the different type of teams that existed between the two eras we're talking about, because that's what makes the 2010s such a great era. We already know that, yes, the 2010s had super teams like the Miami Heat and the Golden State Warriors and the San Antonio Spurs and the Boston Celtics. There was a lot of teams. Even the Brooklyn Nets, if you even want to take it there, was a team that tried. The Los Angeles Lakers tried to build a super team in 2013 when they went and got Dwight Howard and Steve Nash and try to add that with Kobe. So that's another reason why the 2010s is another great era, is because teams were competitive. You had teams like the Chicago Bulls, the Miami Heat, the San Antonio Spurs, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Carmelo Anthony Knicks, the Warriors, the Pacers were coming out of nowhere when they ended up with PG 13 coming out of there. Then you had Lob City with CP3 throwing it up there with Blake Griffin and throwing up lobs to DeAndre Jordan. We even had Toronto, which they had a dual battle, a dual combo between DeRozan and Lowry, and they ended up getting Kawhi Leonard to try to win a championship. So this whole aspect of teams even shows how the 2010s was a better era than the 2000s, because in the 2000s the teams that were running it was basically the Lakers and the Spurs, and then you had a few teams in the East that were able to make some runs and win a championship in between that. But again, the end of the day, the teams that won the most championships without that whole entire era of the 2000s was just the Lakers and the Spurs. But the moments of the 2010s, again, when we're talking about all these great teams, we got to add all the moments that go along with it. Okay, so when we're talking about the moments, we gotta mention finals. We gotta remember 2011 it was a classic finals. 2013 finals was a classic finals. The 2016 finals was a classic finals. The 2019 finals was a classic finals. The 2014 finals is one of the greatest finals of all time. People saw an actual team dominate so much in an NBA finals like none other. This is all within the 2010s. These are all things that are going to stick in our minds forever, because we all sat there and watched it. So when we're talking about the 2010s and every aspect of it, when, like I said, from teams to champions to MVPs, finals, to actual players that played in the league, to the moments that existed in the actual 2010s, we're talking about the greatest era ever. And then because of that era, it created the era we have right now, which is going to be the only era that can top the 2010s. Because if we add stuff like the draft classes of the 2017 and the 2018 draft classes, these are actual draft classes that are classic. We got players like Luka that came out of these drafts. We got players like Jalen Brunson that came out of this draft. We're talking about people like Jason Tatum coming out of this draft. We're talking about Bam Adebayo coming out of these drafts. We had so many stars coming out that exist in today's NBA that were drafted in the 2010s in an era that was completely hyped by one of the greatest stars to ever play the game in LeBron James. And then on top of that, you add a Stephen Curry who added another whole element to the game of basketball, which completely changed.
Real quick before I leave it to Johnny to address something. I just want to make sure I heard something. Did I hear?
There's like Jalen Brunson that came out of this draft. We're talking about people like came out of the draft. Because of that era, it and every aspect of it, when, like I said, from teams to champions to talking things that are going to stick in our minds for. This is all within the dual team dominates. 2014 finals was a classic. 2013, we gotta mention finals. We gotta remember 2011 it was a classic finals. 2013 finals was a classic finals. The 2016 finals was a classic finals. The 2019 finals was a classic finals. The 2014 finals is one of the greatest finals of all time. People saw an actual team dominate so much in an NBA finals like none other. This is all within the 2010.
Yes, I'm all right. So no, all right. I was like, because at first I was like, did I hit 2016 twice? Oh, I was tripping. No. Okay. So here's the only thing, because actually listen back to it, because that was something that I thought I heard, and I did. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did hold that against you, Johnny, just because I thought I heard 2016 twice. And I was like, damn, it don't even sound like this nigga reaching. I will say this though. The part where you addressed Herm's talking about the champions, and you were like, it's not that many champions. I hear that point. I don't think you doubled down enough. I won't say double down. I don't think you put enough pressure on that point, as in like giving examples. So like, for instance, if you would have pointed out the San Antonio Spurs and how many championships they won in the 2000s, while also mentioning the Lakers and their three-peat and winning 2 times to wrap up the 2000s, I feel like that would have stamped that. I think you just pointing out that, it wasn't.
You just said like just the Spurs and Lakers.
Yeah, if he would have said the Spurs and Lakers, I think that would have wrapped it up, because it's pretty much the 2000s right there.
I mean, he did say that though.
Did he? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he did.
It was brief. It was brief.
He just didn't say the number. He just didn't say the number.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Spurs only won
I didn't hear him say it.
Huh?
Spurs won 3. The Lakers won 4. That's 7 out of 10.
That's 7. There's only 3 champions.
That's 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Now, and you know what though? I didn't know. Again, at the end of my of my time, my mic messed up again, and I was cooking, man. I was really cooking. Yeah, it messed up again. Yeah, it really messed up again.
Who added another whole element to the game of basketball, which completely changed.
No, go back a little bit further. Go back like 10, 15 seconds.
That was completely hyped by one of the greatest stars to ever play the game in LeBron James. And then on top of that, you added Stephen Curry, who added another whole element to the game of basketball, which completely changed.
It was a little bit before that, too. Right before I was talking about LeBron.
Before you got to LeBron.
Greatest bio coming out of these
drafts. I was like, remember, because he was bringing up
that
Iverson
in
and
today's
Nash.
NBA that were drafted in the 2010s in an era that was completely hyped by one of the greatest stars to ever play the game in LeBron James. And then on top of that, you added Stephen Curry, who added another whole element to the game of basketball, which completely changed.
I gotta go back and listen to it. There was a part I was like, why does it sound like I'm coming in and out?
Oh no. You was good.
But yeah, so that's what I was saying. Honestly, I felt like on that round, basically Herm gave me a layup, because he started talking about the teams and how good they were and how great they was. So I mentioned teams because I had a list of teams that I already knew were great from that era. Like I mentioned the Lob City Clippers. That's what.
I don't think you really debunked what I'm saying, because I brought up only reason I brought up Nash and Dirk Nowitzki and all that because of the implications of that offense at the time within that tough era. I wasn't saying they was great because neither one of those teams won titles, but the offense influence from that era in the 2000s, it carried heavily into the 2010s for the offensive minds of Don Nelson and Mike D'Antoni. So if you probably listen a little bit closely, that's what I was really referring to. What I was saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said you gave me a layup, because when you saying that these teams of the 2010s are using it, that was a perfect example of showing you why the teams of the 2010s were better, because they were doing that offense and still more skilled with all of the superstar talent around them. Plus, the way they were using that offense led to winning championships, and the fact that teams were always trying to figure out ways to win, because it was such a tough era, because there was a lot of teams that were just putting players together so that they can win championships. So it was that was where the competition level came in at as well, beyond the idea of the parity of not having enough people that can compete like in the 2000s. So again, I thought he kind of laid it up to me to talk about the teams of the 2010s, because again, a lot of those teams in the 2010s are memorable teams, but a lot of them lost because they were facing tougher teams. There was a lot of there was some numbers I could have threw out there, but I didn't want to throw numbers out there again because I'm always known for the numbers, and I'm obviously facing Herm on his show, so I gotta talk what his fans want to hear. So that's why I was just trying to stick to the moments and how we remember and all the legacy, because that's what we're talking about. Which era is greater? So that's predicated on the eye test and what we remember and the moments, and that's what I was trying to get to. Like in the moments, these were the teams that we all talked about. So there was parity, there was great teams, there was also great athletes, and like Herm said, they were using the offense that made it look so great, and they were winning with it, unlike the 2000s. So that was kind of like my premise when I was going into round two. I kind of felt like he laid it up for me to just, oh boom, I can just talk about all these teams. That's how I felt.
I don't, and to be fair, I think you addressed it, and then I'll let you go, Chris. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
No. I feel like you address. I feel like you addressed it, Johnny. I just like if you were to double go deep and expound upon the point of when you really think about it, the 2000s were really dominated by San Antonio and the Lakers primarily, and then everybody else just got scraps when it came to the Pistons and the Celtics to
Mm-hmm.
wrap up the year. I would have given you, and to be honest with you, I think you would have won had you instead of you hanging on to the moments, talking about 2011, talking about 2019, if you would have doubled down on that even further and talked about the 2010s when it comes to the fact that seven different teams that won a championship in that decade. I feel like that would have cemented that one and immediately shifted it over to you being on offense. I felt like Herm put was on the offense and put you on the defense, and you were trying to switch over to offense before actually defending. Does that make sense? Like
Oh,
nah, that
No,
shit don't work.
because because again, I didn't think Herm made any real grand big statements in his speech. Like I really
Okay.
thought okay, that's what I'm saying. That's not like because I don't think what he was stating was, because I felt like whatever I was gonna say was gonna debunk most of that. At the end of the day,
I
there
get you.
was really no parody. You see what I'm trying to say? So that's how I thought
Yeah.
about it. I didn't think that Herm really made that monumental of a statement by saying parody and bringing up the offenses and in contrast to the defenses, because that's what he was basically saying, that we not only was there the defensive era, but within the defensive era, you had teams like the Suns, the teams like the Mavericks, like he was stating, that
Yeah.
were changing the game and what we see today as far as how they were playing then.
Yeah. No, I
So I
get
heard him.
I
I heard him.
I get it. It was like you would listen to it, you was like, I really don't even have to. I don't have to stay on that too long because that just don't even sound right. I get you. I get you. Sturdy, you got anything? Oh no, Chris. I'm sorry. You wanted to say something.
I'm not you straight. No, my whole thing is you could have hammered home, especially a few of those NBA finals with the Lakers, especially between especially between say like after the Lakers just disbanded, you could have expounded upon how that '05 finals was like one of the least entertaining finals in NBA history. Like from when you're watching it, yes, but their fan base is like it was such a low, like they were getting such low ratings just from that, even from the
Yeah.
'07 Spurs, where everyone knew that the Cavs were gonna sweep. Like people weren't interested in those NBA finals and watching. You could have harped on those two in particular to really expound on how pretty much there was really that the parity thing wasn't really there. It was just the Spurs and the Lakers that were just dominating teams, in my opinion.
I fucks with that. Sturdy, you got anything to say? True, ready, crazy,
Yeah,
anything?
I just gave her the round, even at the second listen to it. Yeah, it's the
Hmm.
same reasons. He just, in my opinion, he provided different lack of a better term, different styles of evidence. Like a Johnny Harp his main grandiose was the moments, and they both were great rounds. But Herm, like I said, he provided examples of not just the moments, but the influence, and as well as the diversity. And as he explained in the beginning of the second round, if you remember, that is a form of greatness. Like that, how influential you are, how unique you are. That is a form of greatness. So that's why I gave it to Herm. It was still a close round. Like like we all agree when we're going to hear in this third round. This is the best debate out of the four y'all did so far.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%.
Agreed.
I will say this, Herm, the meat that you left on the bone was delving into how particularly those specific teams, like the Dallas Mavericks and the Phoenix Suns, how their
Which
style gets implemented in the 2010s and today's era. I do feel like you left meat on the bones to secure you for that.
I
That
think he did that more in the third round, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, we finna
Yeah, but
find
Chris,
out.
you got to stop doing that. You got to
We
stop
finna find out.
foresighting.
We finna
But
find
go ahead.
out. We finna
Okay, my
find
fault
out.
game. My fault
Yeah,
game.
stop seeing it to the future, nigga. You ain't Doctor Strange.
All right, fine. Okay, fine. No more foresight.
Chris is the type of person like, hey, did you break down this trailer? I did the
Right?
screenshots, and based off this, like, we're gonna give you all the
I gotta
spoilers
make
and
sure.
shit.
I gotta make sure I'm at the right spot, bro. That's it.
You where we are. All right, bro.
All right, my bad, gentlemen. This is the first. This is the This is the
Sturdy,
rebuttal
what the
round.
fuck?
So Herm,
Yes, sir.
when you get into solo,
What the fuck?
listen, man. Like I said, juggling some shit in the background.
That
Hey,
nigga
it
hit the
is what it
blunt a
is.
couple times. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, nah, actually no, I was fine. I was actually sober. It just
Nah,
that's the
I
thing.
feel you. I
Doing
feel
other
you.
shit.
It happened.
Yeah, it
No,
do.
but I fucked up. I
Yeah.
fucked up because like even though I feel like even if I didn't label it rebuttal round, hey Johnny was still gonna like rebuttal to Hearn round anyway. So and that's nothing I'm gonna do too. Like going forward, like we typically just say the third round is the rebuttal round just as a formality. But like especially for guys who are experienced debaters, we just gonna do 3 rounds, just 3 rounds, 3 minutes, call it a day. However you want to format it is on you.
Thank you. All right.
This is where you start, okay?
Let's get it, man. Let's get it. End of the day, when you bring certain aspects up, I kind of agree. But end of the day, when you look at it, when you look at that aspect of it, the two best draft classes of all time, the 1996 draft and the 2003 draft, was within that same era of the 2000s. You had the young LeBrons up dealing with the AIs, the Kobe's, the Ray Allens, the Steve Nashes, those guys in that era compared to that 2003 within that same era. But the biggest difference in those eras is the big man. End of the day, the 2010s didn't have guys like a Kevin Garnett, Shaquille O'Neal, the Tim Duncans, even though some of those guys played within that next era, but they wasn't as depth as those guys. They wasn't as deep as those guys. The 2010s are more top heavy because yes, you had the LeBrons, the Currys, and Kevin Durant's and Kawhi Leonard's, but outside of that, it wasn't as deep and as rich with talent like the 2000s. Because the 2000s, think about it, you guys. You had the Kobe Bryants, the Allen Iversons, of course. You had the Steve Nashes, the Dirk Nowitzkis, the Kevin Garnetts, the Tim Duncans. You can add with the Jermaine O'Neals, the Tracy McGrady's. It was so enriched with talent, you guys.
Heavy
Ray Allen,
body
excuse me, the Ray
Jermaine
Allens, the
O'Neal.
Paul Pierces, the Vince Carters. They were so enriched in talent. That's why it was so much parity. That's why it was a lot of competition. That's why you had several different champions. That's why you had great competition. That's why it took you 50 wins in the West just to make the playoffs. That lets you know how much competition is in it alone. The 2010s, we basically knew who was going to the NBA Finals every year. Yes, we had a three-peat with Shaq and Kobe when they was together, but outside of those years, we didn't know who was going to make the NBA Finals. We didn't expect Kobe Bryant to go to 3 straight finals without Shaquille O'Neal. But that just spoke to his greatness. It spoke to what they did for us, the Lakers. But at the same time, still had teams like the Pistons. You still had teams like the Mavericks. Still had teams like the Miami Heat and guys in that ilk that you was able to see the young stars flourish at the Dwyane Wades. You was able to see the veterans that still dominate like the Shaqs, the KGs, and the Dunkers. So they was able to put their foot on the league. So end of the day, you had a balance. The 2000s was more balanced than anything that the 2010s ever could have brought us. The 2010s wasn't balanced at all because either it was LeBron James' team
No, you
going to
did.
the
No,
NBA.
you did not, Ajani. No, the fuck you didn't.
Damn, Kazim,
I'm
bro.
cooking.
Damn.
I
Come on,
respect it.
bro.
I respect it.
I didn't see him doing that. Oh shit! I didn't
Finals,
see
or
him
you was
doing
looking
that.
at a Steph Curry or a
I
Kevin
do what I
Durant.
do.
You
I
was
did
looking
something what
at
I did.
guys of
Look at
that
that.
ilk.
That's you.
So outside of Dirk
Bro,
Nowitzki
man,
and Kawhi Leonard,
Oh,
it was
that was
basically it
take
was
it back
basically
15 seconds,
Curry
nigga.
versus LeBron that
Herm was
whole
cooking, huh?
era.
Herm was
So
cooking.
when you look
Bring
at
it
that,
back 20 seconds. The
or
double
you
tap
was
a couple
looking at a
times.
Steph Curry, it was LeBron James team going to the NBA Finals, or you was looking at a Steph Curry or a Kevin Durant. You was looking at guys of that ilk. So outside of Dirk Nowitzki and Kawhi Leonard, it was basically it was basically Curry versus LeBron that whole era. So when you look at that alone, that just lets you know when it comes to building super teams, the super teams heavily affected that era in the 2010s compared to the 2000s, which it was so enriched with talent. It was so deep in talent. You had guys like the Yao Mings, the T Macs, the Van
Mm. Hey, look. On a scale of 1 to 10, how how well would you say Herm? How well would you say that round for Herm was doing? Not forget just this battle, this entire series. How good do you think that one is compared to everything else he said during this entire series that he's had with Ajani?
That was his best one, in my
That
opinion.
was his
If we're
best
being honest,
performance
Yeah.
but if we're being
overall.
honest, hey, Johnny's still bung it in
Yo,
the
Hey,
third round
shut
too.
Chris.
yo,
Shut
He's
yo,
still.
gassing. Yo, Chris, chill out, bro. You can't tell Chris shit.
He
But
said the
listen,
same in the
no,
round
no,
in the
no, no.
third round.
That's all. That was exactly about to
Uh,
say. No, I don't
fine, I
think.
ain't gonna
No,
say.
his best round was actually the one before this with the Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders. That was his
Okay,
best round.
okay.
I'm not gassing it. I don't even think now after re-listening to it, respectfully, I don't think his third round was better than his second round. Be honest with you. Like, yes, he rebutted a Johnny, and I think in a great manner by displaying the fact that you might have mentioned the fact that it was the Spurs and the Lakers, but we go to 2010s, it was basically LeBron and Curry. Yeah, outside of Dirk and Kawhi, basically LeBron and Curry. And Herm emphasizing that moment. And he went back to the diversity of talent, which was great. But the problem with diversity of talent, he kind of did that in the second round. So I personally believe it was still a good round, but now after listening to it, no, I'm not going to say it was the best round out of the series between them. Nah, that's clearly, in my opinion, his best round was that round in the last debate with Deion Sanders and Emmitt Smith. That shit was crazy.
True, true. What's the what's
That
your
shit I go.
verdict? True, you there? What about you,
I don't think
Crazy?
he is.
Crazy, you there? Okay.
Yeah, it was good.
You got a
I'm here.
reaction to
Yeah,
Hearn in this round?
yeah.
Yeah, that round was good. His best round to me was his second round in this debate.
Okay. Roddy, what about you? You think this round was better than the round previous for Herm or what? How does nigga go on mute when I ask?
That's good.
I'm still. Oh, you talking to me?
Yes, Roddy, nigga, I'm saying your
Yes.
name.
Yeah,
Okay.
bro.
Bro, he told you
Okay.
earlier that he want to hear the whole debate first.
This
Damn.
is quite literally
That's it. There's no
one.
more rounds.
No,
Nah, Johnny got one more round.
Yeah.
Johnny
Oh,
got
let
his.
me hear. Let me hear.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think
I just
Sturdy
want to
Sturdy.
listen.
I think
And
Sturdy
then
chatting.
and then
I ain't gonna lie to
huh?
you. No, I was saying I think Sturdy's chatting. I think this is easily his best round when we're talking about basketball. First of all, I don't know why we're factoring in the Emmett Smith the one like
Yeah, in terms of
he
basketball, yeah, because that was
he was
football.
that
I
No,
was
just said
basketball.
basketball.
you say basketball. You say out of debate in the series, and that's what I took it as. Ain't my fault you don't know
Yeah, but
football.
that was
Go ahead.
already a layup. Anyway, um,
I'm screaming.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think Herm. I think this one is not just the fact that he rebutted very well, but even when you go into the like the diversity in the 2000s and Herm pointing out like multiple players like back to back to back fluidly. Like that was impressive. Him mentioning about the even though they won a champion, like he did it in his own way, which I think I said it on the show. He Even though he did it in his own way, like Herm basically was like pointing out how the two, even though there was like only two champions that dominated on between the Spurs and the Lakers, you didn't know outside of the three-peat, you didn't know that the Spurs were going to win in 05 or 07 or 03. So
07, I would say. Actually, no. I think everybody knew the Spurs were going to win
you
in
knew the Spurs were
07.
going to win in 07?
I think everybody did. I don't know. Does anyone else feel like the Cavs could have won in 07? I don't think
Everybody
so.
at that time, everybody knew the Spurs was going to win.
Ain't nobody thought the
Yeah.
Nets were going to win in 03 neither. Ain't nobody thought the Nets were winning in 03. So yeah, the
Nah,
Spurs was
people didn't think the Spurs were gonna make the finals in 2003. You know what I'm saying? Nobody.
No,
People
yeah,
thought the
yeah,
Lakers
yeah.
were
No,
going
that
to
I
win.
But
no that I
People
agree
thought the
with.
Lakers
No,
were
we
going
talking
right.
about 07. 07, no
07,
one
07.
No,
nobody
07
nobody
Spurs
thought
were the favorite. Spurs.
Oh,
Yeah.
like
But even in 03, Johnny, like even though like nobody thought the Nets was gonna win, nobody thought the Spurs was gonna win. Who thought the Spurs were gonna beat the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq? And Tim Duncan had
nah,
they played like
they were heavy favorites. They were,
He was the
no
MVP of the league that
getting
year.
to the finals. You thought the Spurs was gonna get to the
No,
finals in 2003?
no, no casual. They're saying 05. They're saying 05.
Oh, in 05. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wait,
03.
wait,
Oh,
no. He said
03.
New
I feel
Jersey
05
you.
Nets. He
the
said New
Nets
Jersey Nets. He said New Jersey Nets.
Oh,
against
oh,
the
the 02?
Nets.
05 was
That's
the
03.
Pistons. 05 was the Pistons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah, yeah. 05 was the Pistons.
05 was the
2005,
Pistons.
people really thought your Miami Heat was gonna win 2005. Adrian.
Yeah, but Wade
I
got hurt.
Yeah, but we got hurt
I
in
know
Game
that.
7.
I know that. Let's listen to my last round.
Yeah, he does.
My last round. I thought I put y'all in the penthouse, but y'all don't deserve to be in the penthouse no more. Go ahead and play that for that, man. Go ahead and play them for them.
Crazy. So Johnny gave it. Johnny, you saying that this one that's coming up is your best work yet?
No, to be honest with you, my best work was Emmitt Smith, man. But y'all don't be listening to me, man. I gotta dumb it down for y'all, man.
All right. By the way, just to let you know, since Chris ain't watching the chat, Z-Dub says Herm up for me 2-0. All right. So this is the last round. We just heard Herm's round to start round 3. This is a Johnny's rebuttal.
Well, of course, Herm, you're going to agree with me. I'm the exposer. That's what I do best. I expose facts. I provide information that is not readily available for those who talk the game of basketball. So when we're talking about the 2010s, again, we're talking about greatness. Again, you were talking about teams. We already mentioned the teams. You said that there was no super teams. We all know the Lakers three-peat team was a super team. We all know that the Boston Celtics was a super team. We know that there were super teams in the actual 2000s as well, but they just was not as good as the ones in the 2010s. And again, this is all about the moments, all about the actual things that existed, the things that we're going to remember. We're going to remember LeBron James bringing his talents to South Beach. We're going to remember Kevin Durant saying, hey, I'm out of here. I'm going to join the 73-9 Warriors. Then we got to remember the 73-9 Warriors and the 3-1 comeback from the Cavaliers in that finals. This is going to sit in our minds for years to come. There's so many things that happened. The 2019 Toronto Raptors run to the finals. The Kawhi Leonard shot that destroyed everything Philadelphia was doing. The process ended right there. That was off the Kawhi Leonard shot. These are things that are going to stick in our minds forever. LeBron James, Game 6 against Boston, 2012. That's going to stick in our minds forever. This all happened in the 2010s. Let's not forget the Kyrie Irving shot and the Ray Allen shot that existed in the 2010s as well. All of this. Let's not forget the greatest slam dunk contest happened in also the 2010s. So we're talking about the greatest era. We mentioned the players already. All I got to tell you when we talk about players, KD, Braun, Steph. These guys will end up being in the top 10 by the end of their careers on anybody's list. And we're not even talking about guys who set records like a Russell Westbrook. We're not talking about all of the great things that happened with all the other players that existed. Guys like Carmelo Anthony, who reached over 28,000 points for his career, right? We're talking about guys who were just phenomenal players throughout the 2000s. I didn't even bring up Damian Lillard and LaMarcus Aldridge and what they were doing
my mic
when they
went
were
in and out right there.
in Portland. There are so many great things that happened throughout the 2010s that we are just never going to forget. Is going to sit in our mind forever. It is a mark in basketball history. It basically catapulted the greatest basketball we're ever going to see, which is what we're seeing right now in today's NBA. That's what the 2010s is. As great as the 2000s was, as great as the defense
Trust me,
was,
I don't take no
it was
breaths when I
mostly
talk.
because
There was no
they didn't have
breathing.
enough shooters. When the NBA switched to the zone defense, now it became a league where you had to shoot the ball better. And today's NBA, from the all the way from the guard to the center, you got shooters on the basketball court that can shoot from 25 or more And that's why the 2010s is so important, why it's better than the 2000s. It basically set us for what we're watching right now, which is great basketball. And at the end of the day, when we're talking about the teams, the championships, the MVPs, the finals, the players, the actual draft class, and the actual moments, 2010s, my friend.
That was brilliant, son. Everybody give me a round of applause. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Hold on. What did you think about that, Herm? Like rehearing that, what did you think?
Nah, I think I still gave the third round, just that portion of the third round to Herm still because I thought his information was a little more accurate. It was still a good round by Johnny, especially I think the highlight especially was the moments. I thought he did a great job on emphasizing moments wasn't just on the court aspect. Moments also some of the mentioned some of the off the court moments and even the exhibition moments like the dunk contest and the Kevin Durant and the LeBron James signing. That was a great touch. But I thought the Shaq the three-peat Shaq and Kobe was not considered a super team and still not considered a super team. And then on top of that, I just thought Herm just did a more better job providing different levels of facts. But that's why I gave the edge to Herm in the third round. But it's still a great round by Johnny.
Yeah, good.
Chris?
Chris, you got anything to say, bro?
Oh shit, I'm sorry. I was
Well, we about to get to how I reacted. So
Nah, we
No.
ain't got to get through the judges. We ain't got to do the judges.
We're not
okay.
doing
Okay, shit, bet. All right, bet with that. But
why you do that? Why you like seeing like foresight? Like what the fuck is like?
Yo, I'm screaming right now.
You need to be playing Call of Duty, bro.
Nigga, I'm playing 2K right now. What you mean?
Okay, that explains it.
I'm in basketball mode, man.
Herm, what did you think about Ajani's response to your round?
I think just throughout the debate period, I think me and Johnny, we really didn't debunk each other's sentiments a lot. I thought we could have. Like for instance, I could have debunked several things. Like myself, for the moments, I could have brought up LeBron James 25 straight points against the Pistons. I could have brought that up. There's certain things I could have brought up, but I didn't. I just stuck to what I wanted to emphasize on, and that's what I did. But if it was kind of counterattacks, I kind of had counters if he was going to start including stats and analytics. That's what I was really waiting on, but he didn't provide that. So I just stuck to the script. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, Johnny did a great job. I just think we both would just emphasize our point of views on the errors rather than bunking each other. So that's why I think the rounds went the way it went, in my opinion. But that's my thoughts on it.
Crazy.
You know what? And I agree with Herm there. I agree with Herm there because it wasn't like what Chris was saying. It was on me to point out how horrible the 2005 finals or 2007 finals was because that wasn't the premise of the debate. The debate was talking about what was greater. So all I was trying to do was.
I finally caught it. You broke out right there. You broke out like probably about like five seconds into your dialogue. Okay.
Oh, okay. Like I said, that's fine though. I mean, it happens, but I'm just saying, like, I wasn't trying to debunk anything he necessarily said. Like, I wasn't trying to say, oh, that's not true or that's not accurate. As an example, the super team. There's no terminology for what a super team is. If you take what the Lakers were doing in the early 2000s and late 1990s, they were actually building a super team. They went and got a bunch of free agents, a bunch of veteran players that were champions to win a championship. That's how the Lakers won. They won championship with guys like Glenn Rice, Horace Grant, Ron Harper. They're grabbing guys who are veteran players who know how to win championships. And that's what the Lakers was. They had Rick Fox. They had a whole bunch of guys. So at the end of the day, they are a super team. They won 3 championships. You don't win 3 championships in a row if you're not a super team. Let's get that out of the way. But that wasn't the point of the debate, though, was to debunk anything that Herm said. It was just to show which one was greater. So if he's saying that the 2000s was greatest because of parity, well, I was just trying to show, well, there was more parity and better parity
in the 2010s. Not to say that he was wrong about what he was trying to say, but I was just trying to say, well, if that's great, look what the 2010s gave you. That was greater. You see what I'm trying to say? So that's how I approached it.
No, that's
No, no, I
fine.
understand
Fine.
that.
So my whole thing was is like, and I guess I just want to be like preface like the last round. Is that a rebuttal round or is just whatever is off the top?
No, that round was a rebuttal round for both of them. It's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, if it's a rebuttal round for y'all to rebuttal each other's points, like I get what y'all trying to do, like to stay on topic, but I was just under the impression that for the third round, that's a rebuttal round.
Yeah,
But
to be fair to
if it's
Chris
more
and
open,
Johnny.
yeah. But if it's no, but if
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
more open than
Don't
that,
get it twisted. I
yeah,
responded to some things, but
yeah, exactly.
I didn't overly do it. You know what I'm saying? For us making that whole round just rebuttal to A. Johnny. I just want to out of 2000 rebuttal. You know what I'm saying? I rebutted something, not to
Hmm.
agree what we typically would do in a debate. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think we both
Okay, okay.
primarily did.
That's what I'm saying. If it's a lot more open, moving forward, I'm like, okay. So if it goes a certain way, then that's just how, I look into it. This is
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
Because
To
I
be
thought
fair,
a rebuttal was just like strictly a rebuttal.
rebuttaling what the person said. And to be honest with you,
Yeah.
low key, that's what I was looking. Because like when you look on the screen, quite literally, if we get this thing out the way,
Like that's the rules,
yeah,
rules in
that's
the third
quite
round. So
literally
I
what
was
was.
kind of like following that.
Yeah, like right
That's why I'm
here,
asking.
like
I'm like,
Johnny,
is it more
if
open than
you
that?
look right here,
Then
it literally says rebuttals round. So like we were
But
expecting.
see, Chris D, you got to understand too when you kind of go first, which I was the guy that was going first.
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to try to rebuttal a lot of your opponents on what they're saying because end of the day they could counter everything, especially when they go last. They got an opportunity to free flow a lot of different shit in there. So if I'm heavily started playing defense to try to rebuttal everything they John has said, that
Mhm.
could have made this final round easier,
But Herm,
and that
we
could have
wasn't
made
No,
it.
Herm, we wasn't
Nah,
Herm,
nah, nah,
no,
nah,
Herm,
It
nah,
Herm.
all
nah, nah,
depends.
nah.
It all
Hold on,
depends.
hold on.
I
What
don't.
Herm just said.
Go
Hold
ahead,
on.
guys.
What
Go
Herm
ahead.
just said. Hold on. What Herm
Mhm.
just said. I'm not accepting that Herm. You know you better than that Herm. Like in general, it don't matter if it's a rebuttal round because you understand that format, understand that you can make your rebuttal round so irrefutable. It don't matter what another person say. And frankly, from both of you guys left a lot off the table. Even if you did from the approach from aspect of, I'm not trying to debunk the other guy's argument. I'm going to mention more things greater. In hindsight, I think you guys left things off the table. Even at that moment, I was thinking that as I was listening to it. Like a Johnny, I thought a Johnny gonna go to like the ratings. I think that would have been the easiest shit ever. I thought he like he was right there. He was mentioning the moments in the finals, but that's a big thing. Like what Chris was alluding to earlier was like if he would have mentioned the ratings in comparison to the 2000s and some of those contrasts with the finals, that would have drove his points even further. And same thing with Herm too. Like Herm was pointing out something like the playoff run, some AI and whatnot. He did it in his additional 2 rounds. If he would have had more moments to emphasize his points, that would have drove his rounds further too. So it's ironic too. Like, Johnny had the moments, but Herm needed more of those. While Herm actually brought some stats, while Johnny should have used some stats. That's is a crazy dynamic when they have for this debate. But in general, no, Herm, no. You can even for a rebuttal round when you go first or second, it is your job to make your rebuttals irrefutable and deliver them in such a way it don't matter what the other person say.
Yeah, I 1000% agree, Herm. I think
That's what I was. Yeah,
that's a little bit of
that's
a I think that's a little bit of a cop out.
But
Cause
I
we
think
like
yeah.
I think
at
another
low
thing that
key,
Mhm.
you're
argument
doing
can
that
be
I think
made.
that Chris is
Oh,
doing
go
as
ahead.
well. You guys can't also tell the debaters what they should be stating in their debate. Like you can't tell somebody, well, I thought you should have said this. Like that's not how it works when you're judging somebody's
No, no,
debate.
no,
Again,
that's
you
not what
have
I'm
to
doing.
judge
No,
them for what
that's
they
not what I
want.
did. That's not what I
Yeah,
did,
that's
A
not what I'm
No,
Johnny.
saying
yeah,
either.
that
No,
is
no.
because look, wait, because this is what I'm trying to tell you. What if I don't believe ratings have any bearings on something being great or not? Why would I argue against it or for
No,
it?
no,
So
no, no.
it no bearing
I'm
on what
saying this in
I'm trying to argue.
reaction. I'm saying this in reaction. I'm not saying I'm no, no. I'm not saying this in judgment because like you heard my
It's a
comments
little
in terms of why
mixed.
judgment. And I stand on those comments, but I'm just saying this in reaction. In hindsight, that's what I said. In
Okay,
hindsight,
okay. I'm sorry.
y'all could
Okay,
have added
I'm
more.
confused. I thought that was a part of it.
No,
Okay,
no, no.
okay,
I
my
never,
bad.
no, I
I
never
thought
do
that
that. I
was
never
a
do that. I never
What
hold
we
that.
saying, yeah, what
Yeah.
we saying
Yeah, yeah.
right
Cause
now
to be
we're
honest,
just
all my counters that I
hold on, Herm.
had,
Hold on, Herm.
um,
Right now, Johnny, we're re-looking at it, and we're just like talking about what could have been better. what should have been better. But we're not in the moment of the debate. At least for me and Sturdy, I don't know about Chris. We didn't give a
No,
shit.
well,
Like we didn't give a shit
yeah.
what we thought y'all should have did.
No,
We just
I mean,
gave
Chris
based
is
off of
in the
what y'all
future.
supposed to do.
Chris was here. Chris was
Yeah,
here
Chris was here
3 days ago.
today. He was here today. While we were
Yeah,
discussing
Chris.
that.
Yeah, Chris was here 3 days ago. He was here.
Yeah.
Chris was today was 3 days ago.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Herm. Go ahead, Herm.
But yeah, but honestly, all my counters, I was kind of waiting on because I expected him to hit stats and analytics aspect.
Hmm.
So, but I was really waiting on, and that's why I had a lot of stuff that I was ready to counter with. But he
Hmm.
he didn't bring that to the table. But hey, John already explained why he didn't lean towards us. That's what I did expect it though. I actually was ready for that more than anything.
Okay. No.
Yeah,
Again,
keep that play for another game, baby. That
yeah,
wasn't gonna
no,
be
no, no,
available
no,
this
no, no.
game.
Listen, listen. Regardless, I thought it was. Listen, I thought that was a great battle from both of y'all. My whole thing is, again, I'm just harping more on the third round. Is again, unless moving forward, we're gonna just be like, hey, like it's gonna be a lot more free, a lot more open. But I was just thinking that it says a rebuttal round for the rules, so I thought that's how we were supposed to judge up for that round. But again, I'm not mad. Both
Well,
of y'all had a great debate.
I think we both rebutted the conversation because I think that's why Herm basically was saying the same thing in round 3 that he said in round 2 because it was
Hmm.
kind of to rebut what I was after round 2 as well because he stayed on the idea of the teams and the parodies and the talent within all of that. And then for me at the end, it was like y'all said, I gave y'all the structure, I gave y'all the foundation, I told you everything I was going to talk about. So when I got to the end, I was giving you the full scope of everything. Like I said, I put you in the penthouse so you can see everything. Now you out here on the balcony, you can see everything that I was telling you from the first round. So that's what I thought I did. I thought I gave y'all the first round. I told you everything I was going to talk about, and at the end, I gave you the whole synopsis of it. Like here it is, from the moments to the teams, the championships, the players. I gave you all of these things within this debate, and that's why in the last round I just promoted the show because I was like, man, I did everything I was supposed to do. It was fun too. It was great, man. It was a great debate.
No,
Oh no, it definitely was.
it was.
One thousand
Let
percent.
let
Like I
Should
said
I
though, I
should
you
I
still
already want to
got
give his
um
2-1.
the ready want to give his opinion.
yeah, ready.
Yeah,
The
facts. You
debate
listen
is
to the whole
over.
thing, dog.
Well, do y'all want to do we listen to
Honestly,
the fourth round
The
or do we
2 minutes
want to do
It
don't.
it?
was a
The 2 minutes
rebuttal,
no.
right?
don't.
I could do without it. I could do without it.
Not. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Ready.
Nah, the
That's
two
the whole.
minutes don't count.
That's
Let's
it.
let's
Yeah, that's it,
let's
ready.
get ready to take and truth take.
Yeah, because H
Yeah.
from the UK actually counted that round against A Johnny. Otherwise
And that
he
was
said
and
he has
I
it
ain't gonna
as
lie
a
to you,
draw.
that was dumb. And even George did
Yeah,
it
that
too.
was nasty. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
but
I'm
but
like
H,
I'm like
but
what
H
kind
was
of
not
those last 2 minutes?
one of the judges though. H wasn't one.
No. I'm not saying.
No, no, I'm just saying like
Yeah,
We
but
like
understand
but
where you're
yeah,
coming
but
no,
from,
H
that's
but
all
wasn't
I'm
a
it
part
saying.
of the
happened.
judges.
No. I understand it doesn't count, but like still, like the fact that H came in and
Yeah, I'm just saying
George
like I
came
only
in,
judged
they were
1, 2, and
like
3. That
they were
last
like,
round,
and
that was just
even
like that's
I'm
if
not
y'all
even gonna lie
needed
to
it.
you. Even when Dart said it, like even though he gave his criteria, and I was like, okay, if that's part of your
Mm.
criteria, I guess whatever. Like I was still like, bro, the fact that all three of y'all came in and y'all actually took that fourth round legit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, yeah, that's dumb.
Like for him to have it as a draw between you and Herm, and then just saying that last round, which is you just promoting, is why you lost. That's what I'm saying. That
Because
that
even
shouldn't
No,
even
but
I
shouldn't
I
have
don't know.
like
If,
that's
I don't know
crazy.
even if y'all know. I don't know if y'all noticed that though. Even within me promoting the show, I was throwing some innuendos about the 2010. So like you see what I'm trying to say, but the people don't get that because again, they just hear me
Mm-hmm.
being arrogant and me being a
Mm-hmm.
Johnny. So it's off. But at the end of the day, they gonna remember 12 Eastern. We go live on Go James Kingdom. I tell you that much.
Of course.
Hey, but Adrian, while you playing, go ahead and troll Dart throughout the week and tell them to come up Friday.
Nah,
Oh yeah. So
Ain't
when is
finna
y'all
Dart
supposed
ain't Dart
to
ain't finna
have the
pull up
debate?
no Friday. But
I want to
Saturday,
hear that.
One. Listen, y'all. You listen. Do y'all really think Dart's gonna debate me by himself? He has a whole
fuck no.
posse behind him, giving him notes and all kinds of crazy stuff. I want the 20v1. I want them all there. They're scared. They throwing Dart out to the wolves. They should never do
Yeah.
shit like that. They need to bring
He
up
live in Hawaii, don't he?
Yeah,
His
he
everyone.
time
I
do.
want
zone is like all whacked up, huh?
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's like
He
5
lives in
hours ahead
Hawaii.
or something.
Oh yeah.
That's
He's.
why he was up with us until
But
like
that's why I said.
6
That's why I
a.m.
4 or 5
said.
in
That's
that
why I
hours
my
said.
ahead,
league.
or
Nigga,
No,
or
we'll do that.
behind,
between
something like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I said
4 or 5 hours
between
behind.
I said that's why I
Hmm
said between Ajani and Dart. I don't know why like it's like this back and forth as if like both are ducking. Like it's just time schedules don't work. Like he keeps coming
hmm
on and he's like, "Hey, I'm just checking to see when you're going to do the debate because I've been looking
Him
for
hopping
him."
on
And
Saturday.
it's
He should
like
have did it
it's
Saturday. He
like
could have
brother.
did it on full
No, I'm
court
not gonna
press
lie to you.
Saturday.
Nah, for what they plan to do, nah, this shit needs a little, at least a
Yeah,
week to
it needs a
promote.
little spice on
This
it.
shit, yeah.
Man,
Listen,
just
man,
do it. Just do it.
we offered them a Sunday show, 2 Sunday shows, and then to do one on Casual's channel. He's not he don't want the smoke, man. He's just man. Listen, man, let me handle
Hmm
that on my own. Stop trying to say that, man. That man's already on a poster here and a big time wall of fame of exposure. That man thinks
No one is
Michael
trying to
is.
save that man. Not after last night. If y'all saw the
Oh
way that
shoot,
nigga Ishmael
yes, bro. I
was
ain't gonna lie
going
to
at
you,
him,
Johnny. You don't have to worry about putting. You don't got to worry about putting him on the exposure list. Ishmael done did it for you, bro.
Ishmael doing the Lord's
He
work.
doing it. He doing
Ishmael
God's work
is
for you right now.
Israel
awesome.
doing the
He doing
Lord's work.
Listen,
God's
and I'm a
work for you right now.
Michael
You
Jordan
should have
fan,
been
but
here
I'm like,
last night.
yo,
It's one
that
o'clock in
nigga
the morning
cooking.
and Ishmael on 10. Nah,
That nigga on demon
Yeah,
15.
time.
bro,
No, he was
I
trying to cook.
literally, took a nap, woke up, and Ishmael's still going, bro.
Ishmael
Like,
was cooking his ass, bro. It was crazy.
Bro, the level,
Dart left by three
I'm so
times and
proud.
came back.
the level
I'm,
of inconsistencies, bro. Oh my lord.
Nigga, you look at Johnny, you proud. And me and Sturdy was sitting there like some proud big brothers. We was like, damn, we taught you well, boy. We taught you bro. He was going
that boy
crazy.
be on level. He was on level
Yeah.
10 Friday night too. He was on level 10 about the movie on Friday night too, boy.
He proud of that too. He keep pointing it out.
No, but Ruddy,
All right,
now,
so
now that you heard the
oh,
whole
shut
thing,
up and let me talk. Buddy, it's your turn, Ruddy. Go, Ruddy.
So this is how I feel. I wanted to listen to all 3 rounds because I felt like it would take longer to like explain my opinion on them. So I wanted to ask myself through these rounds, let me see if I get the full picture. And with that aspect of mine, I just gave it to Ajani because I feel like one thing with Herm talked about defense, it was kind of reminiscent of the other debate where he was like, you know what I mean, LeBron and anybody could do what he did. Um, it kind of it kind of gave me those vibes because the 2010s has produced some of the greatest defenders that we've also seen. People like Dwight Howard, you got Rudy Gobert up there. You have people in the 2010s who were either drafted or went into their
Hey,
peak or
I
their
would bet
prime.
years is 2000.
I was about to
Yeah,
say,
look,
didn't
but
Dwayne
listen,
Wade
listen,
go in the
listen.
nah,
2000s?
bro, let him talk,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let him go.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Wait,
you
go
Woody.
have
ahead.
people who may have started in the 2000s like LeBron who peaked or was in his prime in the 2000s, and then on top of that, if you look, you can look it up. Like the game, the 3-point shot, uh, a revolution of the game, the way it changed and how it shifted more into the era that we see today was in the 2000s. And when I also think about great decades, some of the greatest decades, those stretches like the 90s is talked about as one of the greatest decades ever when Michael Jordan went 6-0. When I think about decades, I say, well, what was another decade that was at that level or could even surpass that level? And I think of the 2010s. I think of the 2010s because of what Steph Curry and LeBron James and Kevin Durant, what these players were able to do and what they accomplished. Even with the viewership started to shift more from TV to social media, the social platform, the internet, which expanded the brand global, like really made the brand erupt because now everybody's watching damn near everything. The highlights, Twitter, all that stuff is starting to happen with the NBA. Like that's where a lot of the money and the revenue and the ads and all these different things are coming from for the NBA. That's where they're making a lot of their cash. So you see that Steph Curry, LeBron, KD, other players, they're responsible for this change and this shift in the NBA. And I don't. And yeah, the 2000s were great. You did have the three-peat with Shaq. There were great defenders. You had the Celtics. You had a lot of good teams in the 2010s that were able to do great things, but that wasn't to me, it just wasn't marquee like how the 90s were. You know what I mean? I think the 2010s are more close to how the 90s were because you've seen the dominance with, one player who's in that conversation, LeBron James. That's when he peaked. He's in that conversation all over social media, all throughout the millions, if not billions, of MJ and LeBron fans who go back and forth with this, and everyone amongst the players, how he's revered, how he's talked about what he's done for the game. He really peaked in the 2010s, fam. He was like that next guy that really took over, putting the NBA on his back
Man, I'm
after
Let
finna be
him
MJ.
Debo.
finish. Let him finish.
After
Finna be
Let him finish.
hold on, I'm
Debo.
almost
No,
done.
Hey,
no,
I'm
let him
almost
finish.
done.
hush, bro.
I'm
No,
almost
he
done.
has
Finish.
I'm
him
almost
That's
finish.
some
done.
Him
bullshit.
I'm
finish.
almost done.
Let him
Him
I'm
finish.
almost
finish.
done.
Him
Right.
finish.
So yeah, I'm almost
Come
done. So
on. Wait.
he was the guy that really was able to put and this is proven though. This, you can look this up. It's actually fact. He is the one
Push.
who listen.
Herm.
It's actually a
No,
fact.
Herm.
You can
Come
look
on,
it
I
up.
dog.
ain't gonna.
Right. But
Dog. Let him
he's
go.
the one
Nope.
who, because when MJ,
Go
Hell,
okay,
Herm.
I'm
whatever,
sick of
when
this.
MJ,
Go
okay,
Herm.
whatever, when MJ retired, right,
This
the
nigga
NBA's
making about a
ratings.
player, nigga. We talking
Listen,
Oh,
about
listen,
goddamn
hold
Aaron
on,
listen. I'm
Herm.
just saying. Let
Look,
me say this.
Herm.
Let me
Let this
say
man
Let
this.
him
talk.
go.
Let me
Let the
say
man.
this.
He's
When
about to
MJ,
land. He's about
listen,
to land.
when MJ
nigga
retired,
taking them
the
long
N-
Nigga,
enough.
I don't care. I
nigga,
don't
that
care.
Let him
plane is
land,
Listen,
bro.
delayed,
Let
nigga.
him
That
land.
plane
listen,
is delayed,
listen,
my
Let him
nigga.
land.
listen. It was he shouldn't have started
Nigga, it ain't
talking.
raining
He shouldn't have
outside.
started talking.
Herm.
Listen,
Herm.
listen,
Chill.
listen. When MJ retired, the NBA ratings did take a dip, and I'm saying that in the 2010s, this was the changing of an era, bro. The way we see basketball today, and I believe some of the greatest championships were won in the 2010s, bro. I can understand that, fam. There's other people that understand that. You got to consider the other people, your audience that you're talking to, bro. You gotta be able to convey that to them, and I feel like, you know what I'm saying. I didn't get why the 2010s were greater than the 2010s in your argument, bro. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
bruh.
Herm. Don't say
That was
nothing.
a long
No,
ass
crazy,
plane.
crazy,
I
crazy.
ain't
Don't
gonna
say
lie.
anything. Give me
I
one
thought
second. Give me 1 second. The
I
topic.
sat
The
here for
topic.
that long.
Hold
Listen,
on.
nigga,
Hold
I
on.
didn't
like,
say nothing the
We
whole
listen.
no,
time, bro.
We listen.
no,
Nigga,
We
no,
I
buddy,
didn't
listen.
say nothing the
buddy,
whole
Give
get
me
it
a
time.
down,
second,
buddy,
please stop,
buddy.
because I gotta address. We got somebody in the chat asking what's the topic. The topic was a debate that we had last night between Ajani the Exposer from Go James Kingdom. Please go make sure to check out his YouTube channel and on FYF. They go live every like Friday and Sunday. Make sure to go check out Herm. Herm was the opponent. He is the host of Full Court Press on every Saturday night on FYL Sports Debates. Really, just go follow FYL Sports Debates. That's typically where the content is. And then they're talking about the 2010s versus the 2000s. That's what we're talking about now. And Z Dub said it perfectly. And I'll speak for Herm when I say this, Ruddy. What the fuck were you talking about, nigga? What is going
Thank
on?
I'm
you.
not trying to be.
What
Listen,
were
I'm
you
not trying to be
Thank
talking
nasty,
you.
buddy.
about?
I ain't trying to be nasty, buddy. But damn, dog, we had
Ruddy,
to calm Herm
that
down
that
5
plane
times.
crashed, my nigga.
No, we had to let Herm calm down 5 times just for you
I
to
had to get
finish.
this nigga
Nigga, I
Ruddy
don't.
to
Yo,
chill.
y'all was
I
nigga.
Fuck.
I
fuck
didn't
with
say
Ruddy
nothing this
though,
whole
bro. I
time,
like
bro.
Ruddy, man. Ruddy
I
different.
didn't
No,
say.
You
no,
too.
Listen,
no,
I don't.
no.
I
I
don't.
That's
too.
But
that's that's
listen.
no.
I didn't say
That's
nothing this
Ruddy's
whole time.
opinion,
I let
bro.
niggas.
That's
Yo,
Ruddy's
y'all niggas been
opinion.
talking this whole time, bro. We on the stream. I understand.
Go to
Y'all been
bed.
going this whole time. I really
Get
like.
my
What are you
water.
talking about? I
No,
don't
all right,
understand. Like, you can't
ready?
say nothing.
Okay.
I've been
I'll
listening
explain
to
Get
it.
you a
y'all.
I'll
cup.
explain it.
Yeah.
I've been
So why
listening to
y'all not
soliloquies,
Hey,
bro.
like that, man?
I was listening to
What he
Ajani,
said? He
dissertations,
said
and I
what
Ajani,
he
didn't
got
say
said.
it.
nothing. I
Ajani.
heard
Before
niggas
I give it
talking
Said
to
what he
longer
Herm,
than
said.
that.
Ajani,
I'm
before
not
I give it
saying
to
nothing.
Herm, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to address why Ruddy was wrong because you got on Chris because he was pointing out stuff that you did not say to rebuttal Herm. So since you got on Chris, we're gonna give you the
That's why.
opportunity to give it to your Goat James Kingdom member. Give him the same game you gave to Chris D about why
Yo, listen.
that is a bad way of assessing that
You bung up
battle.
the ratings when he didn't bring it up. When that he said that wasn't even the crux of his argument.
Listen, but no, but first of all, there was people that talk way longer than that. So I don't know what you're talking about. I've been sitting here this whole time not saying
Ruddy,
nothing. There's
that
people
has
that talk.
nothing to do with
Okay.
Ruddy,
what we just
Okay,
I,
said.
I
okay,
ain't
but
gonna
don't make
lie.
it seem like oh, this
Okay.
plane crash. You talking mad long when there's people already on here talking way longer than me, bro. What are you
Do
talking
you know
about?
why crazy? You know why crazy said the
No,
plane
let
crashed?
him go.
You know why he
No,
said
let
the
him
Yes,
plane
talk.
The
Let him
plane
man.
talk.
crashed?
crashed. I think the
I'm
plane
seeing the
crashed when he
aspects of
brought
what
up
they were
LeBron
talking about. I'm
as
saying
a
there's more aspects as well. There's a lot different more metrics that you can judge by, like ratings and things that happen in the players, like some of the best
But
players
what
in the
did you
game, bro.
think
There's
of the
more metrics than that,
debate?
bro.
Well, who
That's
did you
what I'm
think won the
saying. Still,
debate? Who did you think won the
No, it's all
debate?
good, buddy. I respect
I
it,
gave it.
man.
I said
He
I gave
saying
it to
Johnny.
Johnny because I said I
Yeah, he
He
agree.
saying
gave.
Johnny.
Because
No, he
there's a
gave it
lot of
to
different
Johnny.
things that connect my opinion to the 2010s being greater, bro.
That was no.
Yeah.
This nigga
No, but like,
proved
hold
that
on.
Johnny
Yo,
said.
bro.
That's not an
What
opinion, nigga.
Ruddy
That's a
just did.
fact.
No, what Ruddy just did. He gave his opinion on who he won throughout the debate. He just progressed the conversation, explaining how the debate made him feel. He literally said that.
Sturdy.
He literally said that.
I'm gonna get you a suitcase. I'm gonna give you a fucking Steve Harvey suit. Cause nigga, the way that you be caping for these niggas is astonishing. Cause that nigga,
But
everything.
that's what I
Man,
heard.
whatever, nigga.
Heard the same thing. So I heard the same thing, Debo. He was just expressing how how I
He
won the
literally said
debate.
my vibe. He
Chris,
said a vibe, bro. Like what the fuck?
bro,
Yeah,
a
he said I
vibe,
think
nigga.
Johnny won. He think I say Johnny won, and then he touched on the things that I stated as to why he also believes that the 2010s were better, and then he kind of doubled down on top of some other things. Like I said, he brought up the social
What did he
media
say
aspect
that
of
you said?
everything.
What did he say that you said that you actually said in that debate, Johnny?
When he brought up
That's
the
all I'm
different
saying.
brought up the different type of championships and the different finals and the moments. That's what I was trying to predicate
What
on the
about the
idea that we
ratings?
had.
But
What
mentioned
No,
about
it
the
he
was
didn't.
like
ratings?
a round. You
He
mentioned it
didn't.
was
No,
like
he
a
didn't.
round.
He
I
didn't.
thought it was
No, he didn't judge it. No, he literally explained it. He gave the what
Yeah,
he gave the person win, but like after he said, it expressed some type of vibe to me. That's when he started progressing off that. He literally, all right. Here's the debate. Is my opinion debate, but this is how it made me feel, and then start explaining the 2000s.
So he didn't give a reason,
Y'all
Sturdy. So
conflating it.
no, Sturdy. Did he give Did he give the reason? Did he give a factual reason based off of the shit that Ajani said in the debate? Did he say that, Sturdy?
He said in the beginning. He said, and based off totality, how I
Based
took
off.
everything totality between all three rounds, I thought Johnny won. This
No,
is like
no,
the
no, no,
first
no,
thing
no,
he
no. Did
said.
he give? Did he give detail what Ajani said in particular?
No.
Bro,
Okay, then. So
first of
shut
all,
up, nigga.
bro,
Nobody was coming at
bro,
you.
bro,
We're talking
bro,
already.
I'm not
bro,
saying
What the
nothing.
hell?
bro.
No.
I
I
That's but
literally mentioned the same.
y'all not
I
accepting what
literally,
he gave
I,
y'all. That's what I'm
I
saying.
literally mentioned the
Man,
same
shut
players
the
that he
yo
mentioned
and
when
shout
he
out to
talked
Herm
about
because
Pep.
Herm is being
I
quiet
literally
right now, but
mentioned the
Herm just
same
like
exact
reiterating
players
everything
that
that
he
we said this nigga
mentioned
out.
in his round. I literally mentioned the players that he mentioned in his round
he said
and
like I
expanded
said.
on those
I
players.
said
He mentioned Steph
KD.
Curry. He mentioned
Yeah,
KD. I mentioned
yeah,
those
bro.
players and expounded on what they were able to do in the 2010s. I didn't have to mention everybody else, bro.
Yeah,
When you think of the when you think of the 90s, you think of Jordan. When I think of the 2010s, I can mention these players, bro. And those are two of the greatest decades ever, bro. I think both
get
of
that
those
man.
decades are greater than the 2000s.
Get
He
that
just
man his two.
progressing the conversation, y'all. He's not talking about the debate.
Hey,
It's simple. He's
Debo.
giving y'all.
Okay, that's why
So we
that's
get
why
that
I
man
have
his
him
Nah,
win the
two.
debate.
I finna say something.
Yeah, go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Herm.
Herm.
Been
Go
Go ahead,
quiet
ahead,
Herm.
like
Herm,
a.
because this nigga about to piss me
And
off.
at the end of the day, Ruddy proves why I really can't stand LeBron James. One, that's one. Two, debate is about errors. When you look at the errors, forget all the social media. That bullshit. The 2000s era was the most complete and any era in NBA history. They had a combination of the 90s, an era that you say
Salute to Uncle
you
Christopher.
highly value.
You,
They had a
you,
combination of the
you do this
2010s.
every debate, bro.
No.
This is
Which you
why you
highly
be losing.
value.
You do
Shout
this
out to
every
Zero.
single debate,
No,
bro.
no, I don't.
You're
I
not
didn't.
mentioning. You do this every debate, bro.
A
You do.
Johnny
This is
didn't
why you
get
be losing
Pacific,
them,
but
bro.
like me and A Johnny Pacific kind of
Because
debated the same way in
you
this
just
debate. You didn't
because
get it.
when
You
you
didn't get
debate,
in
you
depth.
reminisce, bro. You be
See, I
reminiscing
didn't
and shit.
interrupt you. They told me to stop
You be
interrupting your
nostalgia.
ass
You be
from day one.
nostalgia baiting, bro. You do.
Yeah, I gotta stop
Man, you
interrupting
about
one
to
another.
turn this
Um,
nigga up now,
You
bro.
be
Yeah, I gotta
nostalgia
stop
baiting,
I'm
bro.
interrupting
trying
You
one
to.
be
another.
Get him,
reminiscing.
Yeah,
I'm
Herm.
That's
yeah.
what it
really
Get him,
sound like
chilling.
when you
Herm. I ain't
debate.
I'm
It sound like
stopping
really
you
You don't
chilling.
want to
Herm.
sound
turn
like you
this
had the
nigga up,
cookout, bro.
Get
man.
him,
You sound like you
Herm.
had the cookout.
Get him,
Hold on,
Hey,
Sound
hold
like
on,
can
y'all.
everything
I
was
Please,
just
being
give
hold
a
on.
through
simple
and shit,
assessment
bro.
real quick, please? Just simple, man. First round I had a Johnny. Uh
Mm-hmm.
and then the second round I had Herm. And then the third round I had Herm. But I don't think I judged it right, like y'all said. I doxed Herm for the defense he spent on that whole round. And then I
Exactly.
doxed a Johnny in the third round because he was promoting. So pretty much, that's how I felt about it.
I didn't promote in the third round. I did that in the extra
No,
round.
no, yeah, the extra round, yeah.
Yeah, so
All I,
like some people judge Johnny on like the 3 rounds. Some people took it for all the rounds. So yeah,
I'm just saying, if you have to, oh well, the defense, if you have to go there and try to make a comparison to where this was, why don't you sit there and talk about what makes this era actually impactful, not just from a skills and on the basketball court, but to the fans too, because that's how they make their money. They have to be a profitable business, bro. And I look at every single aspect. That's what I meant with social media. I could give a fuck what niggas is saying about the shit. It's still being viewed and shared and everything,
I
bro.
mean, the
It's
'90s
blown
didn't
up,
have
bro. It's
social media.
everywhere.
The
The
'90s didn't
NBA,
have social
bro,
media, and plus,
it reaches everywhere,
when you
bro.
brought up the ratings,
It's
the
it was not it was
2014
not like
finals,
this in the
when you brought
2000s,
up the
bro.
ratings, the
It was
2014
not like this.
finals
You're
were
talking
just
about
as
TV
low as the
ratings, bro.
2007
The
finals.
TV
They were
ratings
just
drop
as low
because
as the
people start getting on the
2007 finals.
internet,
It
bro.
was
The TV
goddamn
ratings
identical.
drop because people
It was
start getting on the
goddamn
internet.
identical within the social media market. So with the
Bro, the
2014
NBA has a greater
finals,
reach, bro.
hold on, with the
Its reach is much greater
2014
than it was in the
finals, having
2000s.
the low ass ratings with all the social media
You're talking
outlets
about
that it
TV.
had,
No, you're not
it was
talking about
just
social
about
media.
the
You're
2007
not speaking
NBA
facts.
finals. So
Those are
what the
lies.
hell are you talking about when
That's
you
cap.
bringing up ratings?
That's cap.
No, it's
If
not.
you,
You can
that's
look it
cap.
up. You
It's
can look it
cap.
up.
It's cap. Look it up. You can
It's
look
not
it
cap.
up.
Man,
Look
Look
it
it
up.
up.
Look
give
how
him
much.
that,
All right,
bro.
bro. You capping.
I knew this was
Y'all can
coming.
all look it up for yourself. Y'all can all look it up for yourself. I don't even
How
have
you
to
gonna
say
point
nothing.
it
But
out and then
no,
not give us the facts? What?
yeah, nigga, the
yeah,
2014 finals were very low as well. And
Yo,
that's
the crazy.
including with the social media and all this that we have now. It was just as
Bro,
equivalent
do
to the
you, bro,
2007 finals.
bro,
Nigga,
do
what
you
the hell are
know,
you
do you
talking
know
about?
how many views the NBA generates on their social
It
media,
didn't draw that
all
many
social
views
media
in the
platforms? Do
2014
you know how
finals.
much revenue they generate on their social media
They ain't
platforms? Shall we go
generate
over it?
shit in
Shall we go over it
2014.
together?
That shit up, man.
You acting like people be watching TV, bro.
Now you want
Ruddy,
to bring
but
it.
Ruddy, the social media like boom didn't happen for the NBA until right after that, right after like
Bro,
2014. It wasn't until 2015, 2016 season where the social media influence really started to take the explosion.
and that's still the
But in
2010s.
general, no, that's still 2010s. But I'm saying in general though, right? That is one aspect. That's why I mentioned that in hindsight, that's something they both could have added to that. And I understand. I think you're progressing the conversation, which is great because we can just give our overall synopsis. Fuck the debate in general. What is the greater era between the 2000s and 2010s? And in my opinion, I think it's the 2000s. It is primarily from this aspect. Um, you take a decade, you evaluate the greatness of a decade in its totality, not just in its high marks. You take it also for its low marks too. And in my opinion, the 2010s had way more lower marks in comparison to the 2000s. The niggas forget the 2010s also had the tanking era. That shit was ass. Literally, like there was like four out of like the 10 years in the 2010s where you had at least 5 to 6
Trust the
teams
process.
shooting like intentionally trying to win less than 24 some odd games, bro. That shit was ass. We all watched it. We all remember that shit. And people who are on the East Coast remember literally hundreds of Philly fans going to the Philly games with bags on their head. And so the lowest light of the 2000s was that transition between the zone and a 3-point time, which is probably just one. It was probably just one season where the pace was damn near at a slow halt. But they supplement. And another bad thing about 2000s is there was, I like to call it like the find the next Jordan era. Like niggas forget, like the first 2000s, people trying to find the quote unquote next Jordan. That's why you had a lot of guys trying to implement that ball dominant scoring type
Isocentric
of
offense.
isocentric guard. That started in the 2000s. But to me, that shit do not compare to one, the very more inconvenient injuries that happened in the 2010s, two, the tanking era, and three, the lack of depth in certain positions like the centers. Majorities from the centers for the top for the 2010s was don't compare. It just don't compare. So the 2000s, in my opinion, have advantages in depth of talent, more diversity of styles, primarily due to the rule changes and style of culture, and with the influx of talent emerging during that time. Not just in the 2000s, you had guys from the 2003 and the 96 draft coming in flux. Not to
Mm-hmm.
mention the other great players like the Dirks and the KGs and the Tim Duncans and so many odd players that we left off the table, like the Chris Webbers, like Jermaine O'Neal's, like the Rasheed Wallace, like the 2000s had more depth. So to progress the conversation, I think 2000s is clearly greater than 2010s.
I just want to also read off the chat too because these niggas was busy while I stepped away. Bro said this dude Ruddy bugging. I'm a crazy jumped in. He said I'm in that building. MJ the goat. Period. What's Gucci? What's Gucci? I'm a crazy.
Was Gucci.
MJ is not the goat. Fuck nigga. Nigga say what up crazy. Where the link at? Actually, yeah, Chris, can you post the link in the chat for them?
I got you right now.
Okay, appreciate you, brother. Dr. Johnny for capping and lies. Lakers wasn't a super team. I'm a crazy set. Z Dub said Johnny's tripping. I can't hear sometimes. One at a time. Yeah, niggas. One at a time, bro. We over here yelling at each other. Z Dub says Ruddy, please stop. Be better. And I'm a crazy said tanking era. He was agreeing with Sturdy.
And by the way, and Johnny, that was a good point, and this is something I wish Herm would have took note of and should have replied. It would have nailed this home. Yes, the 2010s had guys like KD, LeBron, and Steph Curry, who some by all said and done might have in their top 10, right? But we can't forget what the fuck the 2000s had: Shaq, Tim Duncan, Kobe, and LeBron. Guys who are already in the top 10 for most people. And then on top of that as
you can't.
well, why not?
Oh wait, you
Hold
can't
on,
use
LeBron. Last time I checked, LeBron is both a
LeBron.
2000s.
I mean, he played
He's both
7
a
years in the
2000s.
2000s.
No, he played in 3 different decades. That's how great LeBron is. LeBron was great in 3 different decades. Hey Johnny, he was
30. It is unethical to use LeBron James against GOAT James Kingdom. You cannot do that. So you cannot use him at all. It is
Hey, it
unethical.
is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, it's not my fault. He had that 25-point comeback in the 2000s. He had 2 back-to-back MVPs in the 2000s. He led the league in scoring in the 2000s. What you want me to say?
Y'all know damn well Herm can't use LeBron James in any great sense. You know he got a fan base.
And that's the thing, Herb. That's what I should have did. That's what you should have did. I would have used that shit. I would spam that bitch half my
You
third round.
wanted, I already told y'all I could have won 800 points by bringing up the LeBron James 25 straight points Pistons. I could have brought up the back-to-back MVPs, but I did in a sense. I just did a singular around LeBron. I brought up that whole 2003 draft class mixed with that whole 1996, and you sprinkle in the KGs, the Duncans, the Dirks. You sprinkle those guys in between Chris Webbers. But outside of that, you got the 2 best draft classes of all time in 1 decade. I mentioned, and you had an influx of talent. It was deep. It was enriched with stars, including Vince Carter too, T-Mac. It was influx with a lot of stars, and it was deep. And damn near almost every position they was deep. Even with I didn't even mention Jason Kidd and them for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? So it was enriched with so much talent, man. That's 2000 to me just a more complete era of all time. They had a mixture of everything that you think of. You want to see exciting offense? They gave you that. You want to see physical, hard-nosed defense? They gave you that. You want to see player rivalries? They gave you that. You want to see the team rivalries? That happened. You know what I'm saying? So they had everything in that era. You really didn't have an influx of player rivalry in the 2010s. They tried to create something, but they really didn't do that. The team rivalries, it really wasn't in-depth team rivalries in the 2010s as well. So, I mean, that's a separator to me.
Man,
everybody versus LeBron James in the 2000s. It was that's what the rivalry right there. Everyone versus GOAT James.
But that's the thing. That's the thing, hey Johnny. Sometimes I think at times the 2010s kind of fall like with the 90s in some aspect where they have that one player that's so transcendent that it's kind of a little too much relied upon. Like like it became like, oh, every in the 90s it became everybody versus Jordan, and for majority of the 2010s it became everybody versus LeBron. Versus the 2000s, I still got LeBron and all kinds of other storylines, all kinds of historic storylines, all kinds of memorable storylines, good and bad. To this day, hey Johnny, that Shaq and Kobe feud is legendary. To this day.
To this day.
You want to talk
On
about shocking all? One of the most shocking
That's
all
a big,
moments
big.
in sports is the Malice in the Palace.
Uh-huh.
That's the
and
2000s, baby.
the
That
two
was
thousands didn't
physicality.
the, the 2000s didn't move the needle, man. Not like the 90s
Equally.
did. It did not move the needle, fam. But because the 2010s, like you have players who were a pivotal part in revolutionizing the game in the way it's played today, bro.
Did the
Which, by the way,
did Mike D'Antoni
2020,
in
which by the
2012?
way, 2024 in itself generated 19 million views on the internet, and that's not even talking about the 50% of people who pirate the NBA. So
Did 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 Mike D'Antoni and Steve Nash and really the
just
Phoenix
a
Suns as
side
a
note,
whole did they not implement an offense that provided evidence of how a sped up offense can push bounds and you could be able to go the long call potentially with just offense alone. Like, did they not provide that evidence that ended up later producing the 2017 or
bro,
2017 to 2020 Houston Rockets, the Dallas Mavericks that we see today? Like, did they not provide that evidence?
bro.
There's a lot of
Did
things that Ruddy. There's a lot of things that
Not
happened in the
really.
Did Tim
2000s.
Duncan
Bruh.
did Tim Duncan and the San Antonio
I
Spurs
don't
not
think I would.
provide a team oriented
I would
even
say the Rockets because the Rockets had the same coach. The Rockets and the Suns had the same coach, Mike D'Antoni. So yeah, the Rockets ran the same style of offense, but I think
Rick Carlisle
the
with
Warriors.
even Rick
Were-
Carlisle with the Dallas Mavericks and even the Indiana Pacers to this day, they run. He caused Rick Carlisle to reimagine the offense. Also, Don Nelson. Shout out to Don Nelson as well. Force offenses to reimagine how beneficial fast paced offenses can be.
So, in addition to that, hey Johnny, too, like the modified
Yeah, but
piston
hold on, hold on.
action.
Before you go there,
Go ahead. No, go ahead, go ahead.
no, because I was gonna say y'all act like basketball started in the 20th
We
with
didn't
the
say
Suns.
that.
They were
We
running
didn't
fast
say
paced
that.
offenses in the 80s.
We didn't
That's
say
what Don
that.
Nelson was been doing.
I didn't
I
say
don't
that.
know,
We
but
didn't
I'm
say
just
that.
but I'm just saying it's been successful. Everybody knows running gun has always been successful. It's just that the 90s and the early 2000s was so unskilled, and because of the rule changes, it forced teams to slow down the pace and to go to this a stupid offense to where you just throw the ball to the big man and let the big man work for 15, 20
That
seconds.
part I agree with. That
It
part I
took
agree with.
Steve Nash. It took Steve, and even at that, nobody agreed with it. We had Barkley always telling us nobody's ever gonna win a championship this way. It's
Shooting
terrible
threes.
basketball.
Yeah, I
And
agree
and
too.
at the end of the day, the Spurs shot a lot. The Spurs shot a lot of threes. The Orlando Magic shot a lot of threes, right? And even the Heat. The Heat changed culture too because the Heat was the first one to say we're gonna take away the big man. We're gonna play small ball.
And I don't even think they
So
took a lot.
like there's a lot of things that changed
As many
to
threes
the
as
NBA.
people believe.
But the pace is not that fast. It was still the pace was still
The
faster in
pace was by far the
1984
fastest.
than it is times
The pace
No,
in the
that's
Phoenix
and that
in
and,
Phoenix
1984.
the pace. Oh no 19. Wait, what do you mean?
84. I said 1984. This is well before your time, casual.
I mean, I've
This
done.
is
I
well
actually
before your
have. I
time,
think I.
young
no,
I
man.
but
think
but
I.
but but
Hold on.
here's the
Hold on.
thing.
Stop. 30.
But his
Stop. 30. I think I actually have my infographic that I made of the paces. Let me scroll through that. You can continue study. I'll pull it up in a second.
But it wasn't that. It was no one's saying it originated in 2000s. We was applying to Ruddy's statement in regards to saying how influential the 2000s is even to today's game. And here's the unique factor of it is because the implementation of the zones where now teams have the innovation and the coaches now have the innovation to implement systems that work in more diverse defenses. That's the difference between high pace concepts from the 80s
for the 2000s that was implemented. So when you have things like the modified piston offense that's not just applicable to majority of the elite offensive teams from I believe since from 2011 and up, literally like some of the most elite offensives season by season use those type of actions because of what D'Antoni those boys was doing in the 2000s. Same thing in concert with Don Nelson in the 2000s, and most importantly, Larry Brown, Greg Popovich, and what Tibbs was doing in the 2000s is still those defensive schemes are still implemented today in
Yep.
today's
Okay.
game,
I got you.
and it's primarily because those guys in the 2000s, those coaches, I'm sorry, in the 2000s, were their style and adjustment was the originators of going against as well as maximizing the concept of man-to-man matchup zones.
See,
Those things are implemented to this day.
That's a
see,
great point, man.
this is why I had an issue with Herm's defense angle is because you can get down a rabbit hole comparing players to players and oh this championship was great, well I think this one was better, or I think the other was better, and it really comes down to perspective and opinion, and that's just a rabbit hole you can't escape from. That's why you have to, so we can all acknowledge that the players from the from the 2000s and the players from the 2010s were all great in different ways, and it did different things for the game. We can all acknowledge that, we understand that. So I have to look at different sources and different angles. Like, what else were they able to do for the game? Not just from a skill standpoint, not just from ability, but other things. And when I see how, if it makes me feel like some of y'all trying to say that Steph Curry wasn't a pivotal part in revolutionizing the game of basketball the way it's played today. When I look at the way
We
it's
hadn't even
evolved
talked
and
about
who,
Curry. We hadn't even talked
No
about
one
Curry
said
oh,
that.
yet.
I'm just saying no because but anyways,
Hmm.
um um with what we've seen from that, and then the revenue and the viewership and the money made and the global brand and the expansion of the brand and how it reaches everywhere. We have all those things that we can pick from also to decide what is a greater era, the players that were in that era, the dominance and things like that, fam. Not just, you know what I'm saying, just strictly, oh, you know, the three-peat, the Shaq three-peat and Tim Duncan and all, because come on, Tim Duncan won in the
You got to finish.
2010s too.
Go
You
ahead.
Yeah,
got
he won
people,
one in the
yeah,
2010s. That's a
you
fact.
got, and Kobe, he won in 2010. Like, you got people
Yeah, he
who,
won one in 2010. That's a fact.
that's what I'm saying. You got stars that was in the 2000s, bro. All-star, all-time greats that won in the 2010s as well, bro. Like, come on.
Hmm.
It was
Yeah,
this,
but
that's
I'm
where
be
the
honest with
needle
you,
moved, bro. That's where it
Ruddy.
shifted.
If you took, I'm be honest with you, Ruddy. If you took all the players from who they were from the 2010s and the 2000s, and you ranked them, I guarantee majority of that rankings will be the 2000s in comparison to 2010s.
That is a fact.
I'm finna
Yeah,
show
Like
you.
I
it's
mean,
like y'all
that's
got it,
fine.
y'all got it, y'all got it
That's
mixed up.
fine.
Like this, we ain't talking about that watered down as 90s decade or that cocaine decade in the 80s. Nah, we talking about the 2000s. The depth
Mm,
of talent in comparison to 2010s, they had more.
bro. I mean, if you,
That skill shit don't work.
that's
Okay.
fine, bro.
So I just wanted. Well, okay. So I just pulled it up. So I mean, to be honest with you, we're just going just purely off of off of pace. The fastest pace, the fastest paces were dominated in the '60s, and we all know that their ideology of
Yeah, I said
how,
this to you, Johnny.
yeah, yeah. So their ideology of pace is
Shout out to
not.
Low.
Shout out to Low. Yeah, their ideology of paces did not. It's not implemented in today's game. A large bit of the ideology that me and Sturdy are speaking to you guys about is largely from players like Steve Nash and Mike D'Antoni. On the defensive end, a lot of the ideas that Tom Thibodeau implemented with the Boston Celtics is being implemented. Shout out to Doc Rivers and Tom Thibodeau. Even Greg Popovich with his defensive scheme, his team-oriented defensive scheme that he had in 2003 is being implemented in the 2010s. Was being implemented in the 2010s with with the San Antonio Spurs defense. And shout out to what's my guy's name that was the head coach of the Indiana Pacers Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel implemented the same defensive scheme. That's how Roy Hibbert was useful. Um, and so that's all that we're saying. We're not talking about the skill set. I think even Herm conceded during that argument that the skill set wise, y'all probably are more well rounded. However, that the way that those skills were rounded about was from the fundamentals that was implemented with the defensive schemes, with the offensive schemes that were implemented in the 2000s, and that's all that we're saying, and that's why the 2000s is better because it a lot of the ideas that were expounded upon in the 2010s with more skilled players, it began in the 2000s. So that's all.
I don't even agree with that way around the scouting skill point that you mentioned
I
in
partially
regards to
don't.
2010,
I
2000.
partially don't either. But just for the sake of progressing the conversation, I will concede it just because, like the numbers, they will go to the numbers. So
What does someone being drafted in the 2000s like? I think that's a mute point.
who
Like
said anything about
it's
anybody being drafted in the 2000s? Did you
no.
hear that coming
I'm
out my
because
mouth?
I'm saying he's saying some of the best players and this that you have in the 2010s is from the 2000s, and it's like yeah, because that's when they were drafted, bro. Like what does that?
No,
Okay,
no,
but
How,
hold on,
I know. I
time out,
think
sturdy. Time out, sturdy. So then let's go back to the debate then, ready? Ajani said that Luka Doncic got drafted in 2018, and he gave kudos to that from the 2010. So do you think that that's a mute point as well?
bro? Listen, I'm
No, no,
saying
no.
that
Answer the question,
if
ready?
no, because that's not no, that doesn't make any
Is
sense.
that a
Then
mute point?
what
Is
you're
that a mute
asking
point?
That's still
that
part
doesn't
of.
make any
That's
sense.
still part of. No,
That's a
that was
part of the
part of
2010s,
his
and
debate.
Ajani
Exactly.
gave kudos
That's
in
his
the
a part.
debate. Yes.
Yeah, but
Yes.
that's not listen because you don't understand what I'm saying. When Sturdy mentioned some of your best players, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 is from
Hmm.
the 2000s, and I'm saying like, well, if that's an argument against making the 2000s better than the 2010s, it becomes irrelevant.
How is it
no, no,
irrelevant?
no. I said no. I was saying no. I mentioned that point from that standpoint of some of those guys. I was more so emphasizing the fact that some of those guys were great in both decades. So
Oh.
it's not no like that's why I kept emphasizing the LeBron with the back MVP shit like that because those guys in the 96 draft,
Who's not making
98
money?
draft,
Discord.
99 draft, 2000 and 2003, those specific six drafts were entering their prime in the 2000s. LeBron, Wade.
Hold on, I'm a crazy. What's happening? Why you not getting in? What's the problem? What do you need me to do? Y'all chat. Y'all point out what y'all need me to do for me to get y'all in here so we can talk hoops. And I'll see what I can do, but I didn't know that it was a struggle for y'all to get in. Huh.
And that's why I'm saying, like, you can go to a bunch of LeBron moments in the 2000s. I go to a good amount of moments in the 2010 and the 2000s. I mean, in the 2010s, whatever. But I still have more diversity in the 2000s. That's why I'm implicating. Yeah, cool. You got Curry. Yeah, let's keep it a buck. Majority of the 2010s was Curry, LeBron versus Curry.
Yeah, that's why I stated that in my first time speaking. I said that like those are the two people you can when you see like okay Jordan dominated the 90s and for the 2010s you can look at LeBron and Curry fam and they didn't just dominate the 90s they we have that and they also revolutionized the game and they also carried the NBA the ratings all that on their back bro this is proven fact
Yeah,
so it's
it's
like
like it's top. So I agree with you. It's top heavy.
Is he done?
It's
that's what I'm
top
saying.
heavy.
So in a
Yes.
debate, when I feel like there's three people, right? There's the neutral one. There's the one that's going to vote for the 2000s. There's the one that's going to vote for the
No,
2010s.
but buddy,
You,
that kind of goes to that point though.
yeah,
Is when we
but
talk about LeBron, well, not well, you in particular, but when we talk about the whole aspect of the 2010s, the whole aspect of it being top heavy is it's LeBron, KD, and Curry. Those other teams that didn't have those players, a lot of those teams were struggling. A lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
so
That's what they're saying.
is the
Not
debate
compared to the
who was
2000s.
what was the
Like,
greater decade? Is that the gist of all this? Like, what was the greater
Yes, that's
decade?
literally what it
yes,
is. What was the great
buddy, that's
decade?
what
The
it
Hey,
is,
the
2000
dog.
and 2010.
2010s.
No, it's 2000.
No,
We can get into
no.
because this is
And
my
we
point though.
and we
We can get in.
disagree, and we disagree. So now
That's
we're okay.
fine.
I
Okay,
tried
okay. So
breaking that
what?
down as simple as
And that
possible.
nigga
It ain't even
still
that because we
got
can.
confused, Chris.
No, it's not. I didn't get confused. Y'all must be confused because we can break down so many different great moments from the 2010s and from the 2000s. You
Can
have
we
to
say
think
that for every
outside of
team?
that.
Nigga,
Can we
every
say that for
Niggas
other
gonna be
teams?
arguing
To
that
your point.
all day.
Ready, to your
You not
point. But
realize
one, we,
that?
we did a reaction to a debate. So yeah, I say I feel that way. But that's why I said to your point, that's why I was introducing elements outside of just great moments. The low moments, remember I said that?
All
And then
right, exactly.
I didn't get to what and like I didn't get to the obvious thing of how they changed the game. We was more so emphasizing how they changed the game from a stylistic standpoint. But don't get it fucked up. There was definitely things that happened in 2000s that changed the game forever.
Bruh, bruh. Listen, I mentioned I think it's some of the top things that you would need to be in the conversation for the greatest decade. Dominance, the star power,
2000s got it.
the
2000s got it.
revenue, impact,
2000s
all of
got it.
that, bro.
2000s got it.
Okay. And the
Mm,
2010s
It sounded
got
like
that as
2000s got it.
well.
I ain't gonna
in
lie
my
to you.
It
opinion.
sounded like
You say
2000s
it
got
I
it.
sound it
think
sound like
I
the
think
2000s to
but
me.
then the revolution of the
Bro,
game,
this
bro,
this
The
nigga
2000s got
voted
it.
wrong.
that
You think the
happened in the
2000s
20
did
that come
revolutionize the
on,
game?
man. Come on.
Ready.
The
You think the
main
2000s did
revolution of
revolutionize
how
the
He's
the
game?
saying
NBA is
that
played
he's saying that
today,
we're
bro,
confused,
was
but
revolutionized
he's
in
the
the
one who
He's the one
voted
2010s.
that
wrong,
sounds
bro.
he's the one that sounds confused. That's the
Bro,
ironic part about all of this.
Ruddy, you
all
just
It
right,
said
sounds
bro.
like
you voted.
go ahead, crazy. Go ahead, crazy.
Oh
Yeah,
my
he just
God.
said he voted. He voted the other way.
This is nasty work.
No, you didn't. No, you did it so crazy. He voted
No.
for you, Johnny.
He voted for Johnny, but the thing,
This is
But he
part
nasty
that
just said
work.
he
confuses me, the
voted.
part
He
that makes
He didn't know the concept.
exactly the part that confuses me is he just asked us after like 15, 20 minutes of us having this conversation. All of a sudden, so was the topic? Is the 2010s and
Right.
2000s
If you
greater? And it's
if
No,
like,
you
that was a
nigga. So what
rhetorical
have you been
question.
arguing this whole time?
Listen, if
That's
we're
my
talking,
point.
Rhetorical.
you
okay, that
hold
was a
on,
bro. If we're
you
talking
were
about
being
the greater, bro,
sarcastic.
if we're talking
I'm
about the
Yes.
greater decade,
He's crazy.
I just answered the question after you said. I
Okay.
said, okay, that's the 2010s. If we're talking about the greater decade, bro, it's the 2010s, and that's from all aspects, bro. Not just
Okay.
particular great moments and great players that you could pick out from all aspects, bro. The 2010s is
Okay,
a greater
ready. I
decade.
got you.
How hard is
No,
that
No,
to
because
in
we
all,
understand?
yeah.
but in all
I'm gonna wait.
aspects, like
How
we
hard
can
is
go
that to
by.
Crazy. Let me
understand?
get in the
I'm
chat.
really
No,
confused.
ready. I understand you, but I'm telling you, even by your categories, the 2000s beats those categories. That's what I'm telling you in totality.
Oh my gosh.
Let me see.
All right, bro. All right. Do you need this is what I'm saying. You need some type of facts to back these things as far as
What do you think I've been saying this whole time,
because this is
Ruddy?
why no, but the reason why is because this is why Herm be losing debates because you'll get up there and reminisce.
Depending on God, let me see. If you try it one more time, like back out of it, like close that app, and then try to download it. Just purely like just download the Discord from the App Store, and see if that works. If it does not work, I'll tell you this is what I'll do. I will log out of mine. I'll create you an account. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. I'm not gonna do all of that. That's too much work. But at the same time, if you're not able to do it, I'll create another way. I'll go to StreamYard or I'll do something else, and we'll do it that way so that I can be able to get you up on here. Does that work? Just, let me know in the chat if you struggle again, then we'll move this party to StreamYard so that we can get some of y'all in.
Stats in this first round in the debate. So let's get that out the way. In progressing the conversation, buddy, I'm saying the categories that you've been fucked the debate, and the categories we were just talking the last 10 minutes, and the categories you say in regards to make the 2010s better, I'm saying those same categories, the 2000s is better. And the categories you point out, you want to go off the court, on the court, moments, low.
I said if you like try it again, so go and close the app and then just try to open it up like by itself and then create an account. If it if you're not able to do so, let me know in the chat and we'll move this conversation that we're having to StreamYard or Restream or whatever we need to so that we could be able to get you on.
It's all good. We could agree to
Don't hear what
disagree,
I'm not
bro.
saying.
All good,
Don't
Well,
bro.
hear
hold
what
on,
I'm
hold on,
not
hold on.
saying.
That's the thing.
But
That's thing too. That nigga retired in the 2000s,
Okay, okay.
which is an iconic moment. Thank you for reminding me, Ruddy.
bro.
Jordan retirement, that last
And
All Star
in
game.
the
Come
You
on, bro.
telling
2000s
me?
took a
Hold on.
dip.
Iconic.
You
In the
telling me?
No,
You
2000s
the
telling
took a
me?
dip.
2003
You
All
telling me
In
Star
the
the
game is
2000s
2000s?
took
iconic.
a dip
You
in
telling me
viewership, bro.
But
In
you
the
No,
telling me
2000s
the
yes
took
it
a dip
did.
in
2003
Dwayne,
All
viewership.
Star game is
2003.
classic. Stop
2003,
it.
2003 had
Stop
great.
it.
How's this? Is this better? Worse? Let me know. Let me know.
Well,
What
I'm
about
glad you said that. I'm
2016?
glad
that's
you said
You're
insane,
that.
telling
bro.
me.
I'm
You're
glad
telling
you
me.
said
You're
Insane.
that.
telling me. You're telling me
I'm glad you said
you
that.
telling me there's a decade. You telling me there's a decade that
What
have
about
I'm glad you.
LeBron
I'll read it
2016?
to
James.
you right now.
You telling me there's a decade. You telling me there's a decade that has LeBron James,
I'll read it to you
Michael
right now. The
Jordan,
2000s took
Kobe
a dip,
Bryant,
Yo,
bro. The
what
Kobe
about
2000s
Bryant,
took a dip
2016?
Shaquille O'Neal,
after Jordan
Tim
retired.
Duncan, T Mac, Vince
T Mac.
Carter, all in
One
one.
of the
And
greatest
Allen
finals
Iverson,
comebacks.
Ray
Was
Allen,
all
my
in one
nigga. Ray
decade.
2016.
Allen. Come on, bro. Stop it.
My brother.
You
My
telling
brother.
me I get all that in one decade
Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett. Like, come on, bro. Stop it. Dirk,
versus a top ass
Steve
heavy
Nash.
fucking
Come on, bro.
2010s?
Come on, bro. I can keep going.
He said I could keep going like this nigga's 30
That's a
wasn't the
lot of
one
talent.
doing it. That is crazy.
That was.
That is crazy.
Ruddy's
Like the
supposed to
2010,
say all
like the
that. Not
2010
you,
was hella
Sturdy.
top heavy.
Yeah.
Bro, listen, hey.
We giving niggas CPR now. All right. Life alert,
I'm
man.
straight. I got the
Bro,
This
like
listen,
you,
is crazy.
like
listen,
man, don't compare the
listen,
2000s to
I done
that
listen.
weak
figured,
ass
bro. I ain't gonna
90s
lie
shit,
to you,
bro. We ain't,
Chris.
bro.
Chris,
I
I
Ain't,
done,
can
Chris, I
read
done
it
figured
for
out this
you.
nigga's 30,
I
bro. I
can
done
read
figured
it
out this
for
nigga's
you.
30. I done figured out this nigga's 30, bro.
Nah, you still in your
I done
Debo shit
studied.
sometimes,
I done
though.
studied.
I
I done
can read it
studied this
for
nigga's
you.
Nah,
style,
you
bro.
still being.
He
I
said
can
I
Nah,
read
done
you
it for
nah,
studied
you
you
his
how the
still be on
style.
NBA
that Debo
ratings,
shit.
bro.
Sometimes
How?
you
The
do.
NBA ratings were not
Sometimes you
like
do a
that
little bit.
in the
Bro,
2000s,
come on,
bro.
bro.
I could read it
I
for
remember
you.
the conversation with Moose. Come on, bro.
Come
We
on,
had that.
come on now. Come on, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me be. Leave me be.
No, leave me alone. Yo, this is crazy.
that's
Trying to
fine.
tell me, man.
Nah. I already figured out this nigga Sturdy style. Sturdy will sit there so he could pander to the dude, and he just like it's almost like cooking your food, like he saute that motherfucker, and he throw that bitch on the
Whatever.
grill. That's what that nigga Sturdy do.
I'm
Sturdy
screaming.
No,
be
y'all
Sturdy
gotta
try
let
to get
y'all
it.
gotta let
Sturdy
people
be
talk,
getting us.
bro.
That be a
Sturdy
lot
be
of these
getting us so
angles,
late.
though.
Sturdy
Y'all
be
don't
like
I'm gonna
get
get
it.
up
Yeah,
out of
Sturdy
here,
understand.
be
yeah.
Sturdy
fellas.
be like Sturdy
Appreciate
be
y'all.
like get away
Get up
from him.
out of
Get
here.
All
away
right,
from
all
him.
right.
You're safe. You're safe. You're safe. And then he stabbed that nigga. That's what he do. That's what he do.
No,
That's
but
crazy.
no, but
Whoa, Paul
I'm like
Pierce?
Ruddy,
To be
right?
able
Let's
to
take it from
improve
the
the
top.
effect
Ruddy,
that
Ruddy, Ruddy,
these
Ruddy, Ruddy,
decades had on
Ruddy,
the people too, bro. Because that matters.
Ruddy,
That's how they
Ruddy,
make their
Ruddy.
money. You're not
Okay,
about
but
to
that's what I'm
discount that.
saying. What
The
had on the
2000s is
people?
not
No.
fucking
Here's
with the
the
2010s in that
2000s,
regard, bro.
the 2000s.
In many regards.
The 2001 from a culture. The reason why I mentioned names like Kobe Bryant and AI, you can't tell me what they was doing from a culture aspect didn't have influence on the people. You can't
That's
tell me
fine.
what they was doing from a hold on. You can't tell me what they're doing from a global aspect, i.e., especially with Kobe and dudes like what's the brother name? Stephon Marbury and Yao Ming.
See?
Yao Ming was doing for the marketing. Hold on, you talk.
Allen
I'm
Iverson?
bringing up different.
See?
Yes, they the marketing
Ex-
aspect of the NBA of basketball. Them
exactly.
dudes,
See?
hold on. Yao Ming revolutionized fucking marketing, bro. He introduced us China. That Chinese market where we still make billions of dollars now when your GOAT apologized for even trying to speak any ill of them niggas for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
That's because what happened in 2000, the marketing scheme for the 2000s.
Different. It was just different. Different time.
See? You see what you do?
No,
What
I'm
did he
bringing up
do?
like you.
What did
See
he
what you
No,
do?
do?
All
you.
he
No,
it's
he.
like
All I'm doing is
Nope.
bringing up
But
elements and facts that's not just
yeah,
on the
you
court,
hear what
like
I
you
said.
asked, Freddie. You
So
said high
no,
effective people.
you're gonna start talking about. Listen,
No,
in
those
the
are
two,
I didn't
facts.
know we
no,
had to
no,
start talking
no,
off the
no,
court to talk about
because
basketball.
in the
Those are facts, Freddie.
2000s, first of
Who
all, in the
convinced Ruddy
2000s,
don't like Hearn, bro?
no,
Facts.
listen, right? In the
Yeah, let's
2000s,
reverse the stage.
you
Let's
can't
reverse the
bring up once
conversation
you
here.
start bringing up marketability and their reach in the 2000s, the internet was not popping like that. This is why a lot
That's
of
the
stuff
thing.
was
You
on
didn't need the
TV.
internet to
They were
sell
okay, yes,
overseas. What
but
are
you
you talking
still
about?
they was only nationally televised games were getting those 3 million. They were the ones getting those millions of viewers, bro. They were the ones getting that, bro. But other than that, you were not getting those type of numbers for the NBA. And today, they didn't even have the necessary tools and technology to be able to expand like that. So I don't see how they were able to do that to even close to the level that the 2010s has been able to do, because that's when all that shit blew up. Social media, the internet,
And then, yeah,
streaming, all of
but
that.
what you're
This is
not
when it
getting
blew
ready, but
up. This is why
the
billions
internet was
and
still
billions,
there,
bro.
bro. It
Let him
wasn't
finish.
popping
Billions.
like
All
that.
these teams are
The
being
internet was
watched,
still
bro.
there, bro.
But Ruddy, once
bro.
again, I
All
noticed.
right,
But Ruddy, I noticed you do this a
Internet
lot.
was
anyway.
still
Like
there, bro.
when you
Oh
introduce
my
facts to
god.
when you introduce facts to the
It just
conversation,
didn't
Ruddy.
have social
I
media.
no, Ruddy, when you introduce facts
I didn't
to the
say there wasn't
conversation,
social media, bro. That shit did
no, no,
not
no,
blow up in the 2000s.
no,
We didn't.
Ruddy,
We're not
when you
saying it didn't
introduce
blow up. It was still
no,
there.
Ruddy, when you introduce facts to the conversation, we acknowledge them, but you don't reciprocate the same thing. It's a fact when I said regard you don't they didn't need social media to have to corner the market in other countries. That happened because you had international players start to become popular in the 2000s. Yao Ming, Dirk
I
Nowitzki,
agree. I agree.
those players helped bring the game global as well. The
That,
things
that
Kobe Bryant was doing in the 2000s, marketing him, Stephon Marbury, T Mac, they revolutionized the marketing.
Some of the
That
team
happened in
that
the
me.
2000s.
bro. I get it. I understand, but it's not the same reach that happened in the 2010s, bro.
It don't have
It's
to be the
not the
same to
same,
be
it,
impactful.
bro.
That's the point. Like that
What are you
weak ass
talking
90s
about? That's
decade,
another.
like that weak
But
ass
that,
90s decade, it went global through television. Same thing with fucking
bro.
2000s.
But this is what
You
I'm
didn't need
saying.
the internet for shit to get around the world.
Y'all just gonna keep going back to the same thing. You're just gonna keep. It always leads back to the players and the moments in that era, and I'm telling you that
I
goes
didn't
down
say
a
shit about
rabbit
a
hole.
moment.
You just said the weak ass '90s, but there's people who would think that the '90s were one of the most dominant decades in the NBA with
Them
Michael
niggas are
Jordan and this
Jordan
shit.
Wash.
That's why I mentioned
Them
Michael
niggas are
Jordan.
Jordan
There's,
Wash or bitches, man. Fuck them niggas, man. It was 30 years ago.
okay,
Fuck that
Damn.
decade.
there's not a mass of people who consider him the GOAT, the greatest of all time. There's not a mass
Them niggas gonna start
fan base
dying off in a
of.
decade. Them niggas are irrelevant. Fuck them niggas.
I'm just saying though, it's still not a mass though. Like, come on, let's not act like this ain't a conversation, bro.
Study. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. This is a mute
This
point
is getting
because
nasty,
yeah,
man.
No,
Ruddy.
cause no casual.
Ever, because I'm
No,
not
I'm
changing what I'm
introducing different.
saying.
I'm introducing. No, I'm
It's
acknowledging
not
everything
nasty
he's
by
saying,
you, Ruddy.
but
Study,
I'm
study, study. It's not
introducing.
sturdy. It's not nasty by you. It's just like, bro. I hate this part of like this debate discourse, bro. Like, not one, everything's not a debate, Ruddy. And then two, bro, like the shit that Sturdy is saying is irrefutable fact. Like, you can acknowledge
Oh
that
my
the shit he's saying
god.
is true. And then
All
here's
right,
That's what
bro.
I'm saying,
and then
man.
one more thing, Ruddy. Stop putting words in niggas' mouth. That is
What are you
nasty
talking?
as shit. Like, what is wrong with
All right,
you?
Josh. All right, bro. All right, bro. All right, bro. But you're doing the same thing because I never said what Sturdy was saying wasn't true. That's not my point. So I guess
You
you're doing the same thing. Like,
you
what are we
literally
talking
said
about?
that shit doesn't matter. Like, bro, the
You
shit
yeah,
matters
exactly,
because you
bro. How many?
literally
I don't,
pointed out. You literally said his shit doesn't matter when you literally were arguing the exact same point for the 2010s.
bro. How many times I gotta say it? Like, I don't know how to say it better. Like, so I could be maybe like clearly
I will
understood,
say
right?
this. Okay, I will say. I
I
will
don't
say
I don't know how to
this.
do
Go
it.
go ahead, ready.
I
Go
don't
ahead,
know how
ready.
to do it.
I will say
I
this.
don't. But I really don't because I'm saying like
Can we
I listened to the debate, bro. That's just
empathize a little
one.
bit better
To
than
me,
this,
it's
bro?
one angle because it's primarily built
Say that again,
on
Freddie.
players versus players, greatness moments versus moments, bro. And I'm
Okay.
saying there's other ways to measure, bro. The impact that the 2000s and the 2010s had on the NBA. There's other metrics like the viewership and the money made and all that type of shit, bro. There's other metrics than just those great moments and those players and the three peats and the you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's more to it than that, bro. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying what he's saying
Yeah,
is not true. I don't think the brand was globalized in a way in the 2000s like it was in the 2010s, bro,
I'm
or
finna
it's
pushed in a way
hold
or
up, hold up. Before you say
revolutionized
before
or
you say something, Study.
changed or anything like that. I don't think they compare.
Before
That's
you
what I'm
say
trying to say because there's
before
other factors to judge that.
before you say something, Study. I'm finna see if I can find a way to I'm trying to make a stream. Well, not a stream. I'm finna see if maybe I can start up a Zoom call or something like that. Would y'all be able to join? Because some of the people are trying to join our Discord so that they can talk with us, but they can't get into the Discord. I don't know why they can't. They said it won't let them in. Um, any solutions?
Uh, yeah, why not? It is what it is. Just whenever you gotta set it up, just drop the link for it in the private chat.
Okay.
But uh, but his thing, Reddit, is not gonna be the same because there's different technologies, right? Just because it's not the same, don't mean it'll have either the same level of impact or have significant impact. So when I that's why I didn't. I'm doing what you like. I don't. You're not acknowledging what I'm saying because I'm bringing up points that has nothing to do with the moments. Because you did mention other things because what another indicator of a great era is how influential it is. Like what happened that changed the course of it forever and made the adjustment of the league forever. So when I mention things like the implementation of the zone, that changed the NBA forever. That happened in 2000s. Well, I mentioned the different schemes and philosophies that teams implement to this day that changed the game of how players play. When I mentioned the different marketings that became more available due to representation that happened in 2000s, that's isolated from different moments. These are impactful things that help mark the greatness of an era. And so all I'm doing, I'm listening to you, I'm acknowledging what you're saying, I'm responding accordingly.
Bro, these might as well be separate debates because I just with revolution, right? To revolutionize the game, you'd have to say one, you have to prove that 2000s. In which way did they revolutionize the game, and in which way did the 2010s revolutionize the game? Then you have to compare which revolution was greater. There's a whole bunch of different
Hey,
things
look,
that
I'm a fast.
you could debate within that, bro.
I'm a
There
fast.
is.
Hmm.
It really does go down a rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? That's what it sounds like to me. But if we're strictly going off of the players in that era, as far as the moments they had and what they were able to accomplish on the court and stuff like that, if we're just going to strictly stick to that, bro, it can go down a rabbit hole. Because one person will argue that 2016 is better than this championship, the 2008 or the three-peat Kobe three. People can argue that shit all day. Oh, I think Dwight Howard's better than this nigga, or I
Yeah, but
think that.
that's not what we're doing right now, ready? We're having a dialogue on the conditions, the impact, and the influence of those
Pretty much
eras.
taking all
That's what we're
sides.
doing. We're not comparing championships, none of that shit. You or I did not do that. Nobody in this VC
I
did
heard
that.
three-peat. I heard the three-peat. I heard all that. You know what I mean? The
No, you
Shaq,
heard that in
Kobe.
you heard that in the debate. But like I said, we've been past the debate. We're having a conversation.
Yeah, no, okay, I get that, man. I'm just saying, man.
Like I'm saying, like no one mentioned no three piece of nothing. We're talking about the conditions, and that's why I mentioned conditions of the tanking era. That's why I mentioned. That's one of my first thing I said. The lows, because you take an era in totality, not just for the highs and the progressive shit. You take for the negatives too. The lows for the 2010s, in my opinion, is way lower than the lows for the 2000s, which is a form of impact as well. The tanking era affected today's draft because now instead of you having the worst record, you automatically get the first round pick. Now the teams with the worst, I think with the four worst records, they have the equal amount of odds. That's cause what the fuck they was doing in the 2010s.
So no one tanked in the 2000s.
Not to the same degree as 2010s.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think what we see today and right now, fam, like should be evidence of a change. This is not the 90s and 2000s NBA that we see today, bro. It is not. It is a whole.
No, it's not the 2010s either. Hell
Yeah,
no.
but that's where it started. That's where the change made, bro. You could look up so many different sports articles, even from NBA.com, ESPN, everywhere, bro. Different wherever outlets, fam. And you can look this because I already looked it up. I already looked it up. I wouldn't just be saying it. Like you could actually look at and see some of the pivotal people like Steph Curry, Ray Allen, I forgot who
2000.
else. People, yeah, the 2000s who was in. I'm just saying who was in the 2000s that helped change the 2010s though. Some of these players who in the 2010s they were a part of the revolution of the game, bro. I already looked this shit up, bro. Like it literally the game that we see today, that change started in the way the game was played. It shifted in the 2010s. Didn't happen in the 2000s. That doesn't mean that the 2000s were bad, fam, but that's what the 2010s did for the game. The 2000s did not do that for the game of basketball, bro. We don't see 2000s basketball being played like that, bro.
You don't see 2010s
Okay,
basketball
but
being
I'm
played
just
today.
saying the shift with the Warriors, bro. With
All you're
how the
doing,
three
all you're doing is
with
describing timeline. That's all you're
I,
doing. And that's what it's saying in comparison to, because to be honest with you, there was more revolutionary
Right.
things to occur in the 2000s in comparison to 2010s.
It took half the decade for the Warriors to come up, nigga. You keep bringing up Steph and the Warriors, bro.
bro, I'm bringing up actual pivotal points
All right, chat.
and
I'm finna
changes in the
give me
NBA, bro.
give
The
me
In
1 second.
whole
Give
all
me 1
the
second. Give me
that
1
has
2000s
second. Give me
affected
1 second. Give
that
me
has
1
was
second.
affected the
impactful.
entire
Hey
and y'all
guys,
From
acting like
2000
what I'm
give me
saying
to
ain't got no
2010.
merit.
guys,
It's
give
some
me
nasty
guys,
work
give me 1
when
second.
you should know exactly what I'm saying.
Give me matter of fact, I got it. All right, chat. I'm finna end this stream and then I'm gonna restart it on restream. I will matter of fact here. Before I shut down the stream for y'all, let me I'm gonna drop the link so that y'all can have an opportunity to join. Hold on. I got you. Anybody that wants to join the stream, I'm putting the link in the chat right now. I'm gonna give y'all about okay. Yeah, I got y'all. All right, I'm finna drop the chat. All right, I'll see y'all in a second. Peace.